tukafika mahali wakaniambia this is what we are offering you. Kasema hii pesa ni kidogo but okay. At least it's a job I'll enjoy doing and I'll only work 3 days a week. Sindio? Kambia, okay, yeah, so sorry. Then I'm it's a per episode. What?
Super man.
Ukatoka mara mbili sasa.
Top. You have told us you're a comedian. You have told us we are going to come and laugh. We have paid to hear laughter.
Now we are here.
Now make us laugh. And I'm telling you, Kenyans are bitches. Let me just tell you something.
Hiyo imetoka hapa. Hiyo ni show gani?
Like me, I was using humor to nini. The babe just wants to be told, I love you. Hataki vitu mingi. Mimi niko tu hapa nampeleka sijui wapi tukafanya nini.
Unamchekesha tu.
Ataka tu kusikia unanipenda.
You look nice.
You look nice, you look beautiful. Yani that's the basic things she wanted. But me, I was out here because of the way I was raised. Hiyo kiatu inakufinya. Haikufinyi? Sawa.
Mbona umenyamaziwa? Actually makes so much sense. Me, I used to perform well in school. Alafu my dad aniambia usianguke next time. You're number 1, anasema sitaki kuona number 2. But I don't say congratulations.
Yeah.
This is so nice. Yeah. Usiende number 2. Sawa. And then it's done.
When you listen to Luo speak, they don't have the SH in their language. So they're not shrubbing suba, suicide. It's because that is a foreign sound to them. So it's like, when you understand people talk the way they talk, you have a deeper respect about why their accent sounds the way it sounds. So, I used to go on YouTube and be like, okay, learn Russian.
Imagine babako akupate ukifati niko kazi.
Father, how many understand?
Over 26.
This is the
This is the Brunch Club. Over 26.
Welcome back to
The mics are cool.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.
What up, my name is Chaxy, the mastermind, your main guy, the Lord Chaxy, the beautiful Mariah is going to get laid. The amazing Mwass is around. The whole gang is around episode 118. We're back, Joe! And it goes without saying, the fake Joe is in the building! TY Ngachira.
We had a budget for Joe. And he sent his red card.
Frankie never gymmed it. Light-skinned DJ Shitty. There are many.
Umejaribu kuweka dread
There are many.
Kuweka dread alafu fanya hivi.
I think we need to adjust his mic stand.
too
Okay, it looks weird.
Unamziba usoma.
Just adjust to usiogope. Yeah.
Geza, tuendelee tu.
I thought ulikuwa unaanza Mariah has today been replaced by a random bearded man.
Hey. Mariah. Hatuwezi fanyia Mariah kile ulifanyia. Hapa tuko na decorum.
Yeah, you have to tell me how it looks from that side. I don't know.
Yeah, on camera, iko sawa. That looks better.
But it's not too in your face, iko sawa.
Yeah, no, it's
Iko
fine.
sawa.
Okay,
Where you're comfortable with that?
It's fine,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Ernest, you'll just confirm levels. I think iko
Blowjob
sawa. The mic should be
distance.
fine.
Blowjob distance. Based on the conversation you're having earlier on. Niko normal. Ernest.
Let's not have it. Levels, iko sawa? Yeah, how have you been, man? Last time I saw you was at our hangout.
Yeah, it was such a
you for
beautiful
coming,
hangout.
bro.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed your hangout. It was so well done, and the performances as well. Kulikuwa na warembo. Unataka kukuja.
Checkmates to short dresses.
Naona mambo mingi.
I know mingi.
Kuna kunywa tu cocktails wakifanya hivi.
When is Ben Soul coming on?
Nairobi, bro, that was really beautiful. How have you been?
Crazy.
What have you been up to?
I've been well. I've just been trying to. I wanted to shoot a special next year, early next year. So like I've been talking to many people and just basically like trying to set up stuff. Guys who maybe I've met in the scene who I think could add value to what I'm doing. So that's what I've been. That's where my headspace has been at. Yeah.
So what would that special, like on what platform would that go?
That let them fight for it once I've finished recording.
Nice. Highest bidder. So outside to bid. So mwanze kuchanga page.
What's the most hectic thing when planning like that?
When planning is in Kenya, the comedy-wise, our biggest comedians are sketch comedians, right?
Yes.
Like the guys who are on the internet making you laugh every day, and they're doing a good job. So people struggle to understand stand-up comedy. Like but then they still want bums on seats. You see, so sketch comedians can't bring bums on seats.
Yeah.
But stand-up comedians can, but not many. But it's the thing of, are you sure like people will come? I'm like, yeah, they are definitely going to come. But then it's that's the big part of it is also everyone wanted to direct your creative. Like it's if I was doing it by myself and then I invite people, but if let's say I want a plus millions from you, you have to be ama tufanye hivi. Now like the problem of asking someone for money to do a thing is now you give them some sort of control that you're not ready to give to them. And so that you have to make a sacrifice. How much do I need you? There are people who will meddle in your lakini sikuona mweke session ya mchongwano so like that
In stand up.
so just so like that everyone has their, even I'm sure you guys, people are always giving you ideas how to do your podcast every day.
Always. And they've never done a podcast, bro.
Advice.
Exactly. So like if
You've even been told to close it.
It's true. But us, we only accept Brandy's advice.
exactly. So everyone will have if you're a creative,
Yeah.
like the journey you are on to do a thing. Like they don't realize that the vision you have is so much bigger than theirs. But then they always want to, unajua kitu wewe unafaa ufanye. Energy. Shida yangu ni energy. So, I'm not going to work like that. Yeah.
Let us see advice. You only kuchangia.
So, but everyone wants to feel like they've told you something.
yeah. Which is crazy, man. But it's I think it's nice when, okay, on the flip side, it's nice when there's people express interest in what you're doing.
Yes,
it means you're doing something right.
Yes.
Because if there's none of that, people like, crickets. When there's no, people feeling like they need to be a part of Nini. Because everyone wants to be a part of a team that is winning.
Yeah.
But that's taken a lot of years, man. Congrats on everything you're doing. I can only imagine
Thank you very much.
what's coming up.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Do you have a date already, Ama? You're just looking at Q1.
Not technically, but I'll confirm when like shoot up. You have to shoot up promo. You have to tell me like, lakini alisema podcast hata tuangalie promo kwanza. Yeah.
Okay, so wait. So for a special like this, so you do a ticketed gig.
Yeah.
Then you take people's phones.
Yes. I could, or I could just have a big fat bouncer who kicks you out every time he sees your phone.
But now that would be distracting.
Yeah, I know. But
When
you
you
see,
are
but the
recording.
thing is, they're always, before the show starts, you're always reminded, hey guys, blah blah. If you do, there's a guy over there, and the moment you take it up, you can take a picture.
Yeah.
Maybe we might say you could take a picture, but the moment
You get on stage.
tuone kitu na si real, sifanyi hivi. I mean, si real. Boomerang. Na ufanyi hivi. Nimesonga kidogo, it's like, no guys, cut it off.
Just make sure Juakali doesn't come.
Juakali is a fan.
So just make sure he doesn't come. So when Juakali came here, so the guy he moves around with, was sat uko hivi outside the set, and he recorded the entire episode on his phone. 2 hours. 2 hours and like 30 minutes.
Where did you upload it anywhere?
But we're wondering,
Never seen it.
what do you need it for?
The first phone, memory full. Second phone.
Second phone, bro.
Now he didn't have a tripod. He was holding it like
Even
this.
ana switch
Ana
anachoka.
support mkono.
So if Jokali comes and with his friend, your special will be out before. So maybe the whole time I was like, I hope he doesn't upload it before episode drops.
Hapana na record tu kiasi.
Wait, so you talking about stand up?
Yeah.
Because I've always been fascinated at.
This part of the script was not sent to me.
Ameanza kizungu nikajua now.
It's time to get serious. Yeah.
I think I'm very fascinated with both sketch and stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
You're right. We see a lot of sketch comedy.
Yeah.
I think the closest we've seen a lot of stand-up was Churchill.
Yeah.
Where you constantly see people on stage. But you always used to be very short. 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah. But also, I think with Churchill, the struggle was you are coming from your village and you have to be in it for TV. In other places, people, you have to go through a circuit of open mics. So by the time you're coming on TV. So pale Churchill, watu walikuwa nakuja, nimetoka Narok, nimeambiwa I'm the funniest person since Lenana or Letepis. And then nakuja hapa, and then naambiwa, mse anavunja tu dream yako. Kulikuwa na kitu ilikuwa meza. 3 guys, you have to audition for 3 guys. If you don't make them laugh, you go and never come back.
Did you audition?
No.
Oh.
That was never my
You
thing.
know this info.
See, I'm in the industry.
industry.
I'm in the industry, yeah. So, like, I know how the struggle that guys... I feel like that process, Churchill meant really well. It was such a good platform.
Yeah.
But I think that process of getting there killed a lot of what would have been really good Kenyan comedians who we don't know to this day, who would have been amazing. Walifika akambia bro, we're simfani. And you know, comedy is different. It's like, you can say I like this Sauti Sol song, but I don't like that song. But comedy people don't realize you can like this Thai joke, but not the other Thai joke. It's like Thai ni hakuwangi fun. It's a you problem. You see? So it's hard to be like, people like, who do you think is funny? People now we treated like rappers. Dave Chappelle, apana, Kevin Hart, and they're like, no, we're trying. We can never have enough comedy. People can say tumechoka ya kutosha. We're not rappers. So I think Churchill was good for its time. I think it gave us people who are really big. But maybe I think the continuation from that was what maybe lacked.
Yeah. But that's an interesting way to look at it, because like I love Bensol. Yeah. Maybe there's a couple of Bensol songs I don't like, but it doesn't change how much I love Bensol, because I love most of the songs. Yeah. But comedy, you're right.
The first time you see me.
Samuel msesi mfani.
Afu lazima nipende jokes zote.
Zote.
9 jokes were funny, but that last one. So we're funny.
And now with comedy, like last night I was about to go on stage, then this babe came and said, there's a joke you said one time and I thought was a bit sexist. So what you need to do is, if you want funding, you need to work on some of the things you're saying. You see, so on top of having to be funny, now there are other audiences whose sensitivities I now have to appeal to because of, and you came to have a good time. It's an open mic. You've not paid. You could just walk out. But no, you have to wait for me to come off stage and tell me.
But isn't it the worst? And Dave Chappelle even says it. This is the worst time to entertain people. People are too sensitive, man. Yeah. Does that affect your content? Like, are these things you think about actively?
Subconsciously, you will. Like, in the sense that, like when I'm doing comedy, I don't want to go and offend you. That's not the point, right? So offense is merely a result, not that's not nikiandika siko nafikiria lazima ni offend Mwass. So but if he gets offended, it was just a bad day.
Not an intent,
but also the thing with people who want to act offended, they're never the people who have been talked about. It's people who have made themselves ambassador of the offendees. Like now, I'm going to be the one who decides who is going to be offended here. And it's like, it's normally a similar demographic. Utaona tu, utajua, okay, kujeni mseme, oh, we didn't like this. They come back next time again. I'm like, guys, you didn't like it. Why are you still here? Yeah.
So those ones who come to you and those ones who heckle, are they the same?
No, heckling is different. Heckling is random. It's normally like a drunk guy. Sitaki.
I do not understand it. Like I'm at a show, if I don't like it, why do I need to heckle?
Yeah. To talk about boo.
Why do you need to boo? Because I completely don't get it.
Yeah. So, but I think when you're a younger comedian, when you're starting out, heckling is it kills you.
Comedy is rough, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Comedy is rough.
Yeah, kuna ka BDSM flani ukiwa comedian unapenda. Kuna ka humiliation king uko nayo. Generally speaking. Like I'm going to stand up and make people laugh.
It's very harsh. And then it's the fact that you get the feedback instantly. Because the audience is there, bro.
Hakuna nilikuwa poa.
You know when you leave the stage, you know.
Kwanza, when you leave the stage and only your friends clap. That is how it's going.
The worst one is you go with your friends, all of you guys went and had a comedy, and then everyone enjoyed. Then people come over to you guys to give you the phone so that they can take pictures with your friends. About to pick a picture. And you are on stage, so you're the camera guy. Okay.
That's crazy. I've ever gone to, what was it called? The one in town, it called Barclays Center.
The Blues.
The Blues. Kitambo when
it was starting.
It was open mic all nights.
Yes.
So there's a day
every night was open mic,
bro. Okay, it was like a Friday or a Tuesday thing. I can't remember. But there's a time we were buying tickets for 5 sock. I think what walkomeza kwenda sare. So when they introduced ticketing, which was redeemable, so it's the same thing. We were 3 people. And it was getting to set, the show starts at 7:30. It's like 7:20. We can see, I think it was Brown Onjoro and Sjuhu. The comedians are more than the audience. They're just walking around and they performed.
Yeah.
To the 3 of us.
Let me tell you, like...
I even suggested we just sit on a table and...
Muna judge each joke for its merit. Iyo hapana.
Yeah. I'll go to like, have you guys ever gone camping? I'm like, there's enough time for all of us to answer.
The intervention.
Yeah. Like, me, I have. Have you? No, you haven't. Have you? Yes. Okay.
But what's going on in your mind when you can tell the audience is not resonating with their jokes, kabisa? You still have maybe another 15 minutes.
Bro, ni 5 shits per second. Shit. Hey guys, so you have never, even you have never. And then you're like, oh no. But then as you as you grow into it, you realize how to read audiences. Like you watch the host on stage, you see what did they kind of resonate with. Then you'd be like, like there are comedians who just use excitement. What was Arsenali? Oh yeah! Ukisikia comedian ameenda huko kimeumana. If there's one thing I like about Kenyan women, Kenyan women, ukianza hivyo. Kenyan women say, oh yeah, unajua kufika huko.
Backstage
He's nini huko hamster kwa kichwa. Fikiria joke. So like there's a lot of saving you're trying to do, but sometimes you just have to go through it and be like, the best comedians ever have had really bad days. And once you accept that that's just part of the job, you kind of just smooth it out, yeah.
What's your honest feeling and opinion about what Jokali said regarding Jugush when you saw it? Hapa kuna comedian. Hapa kuna comedian.
Na mseme land kutoka Australia.
Fanya tu ya comedy.
No, but I think Jokali, that was not the first time he'd spoken about comedy.
Yeah.
I think when Eric Omondi had spoken about musicians not doing anything, that's when Jokali first spoke about comedy and be like, yo, Kenya kuna msanii anafanya 1 hour. So like, mini fan was stand up now. So I think both parties were trying to say something, but the problem is, the internet, you can't be wrong on the internet. So say, sorry, I didn't mean it, apana. You have to ride or die with what you're saying. So I think what he said was, kusema hakuna comedian hapo, that was a problem. Because Jugush is a comedian, right? But now, I think what he meant was, for stand-up, I think it was actually a challenge to like the Kenyan comics. If we had taken it in stride, like, okay, he's kind of saying some things we should be thinking about. The problem was that it made it look like it was an attack on Jugush. Essentially, it was asking the Kenyan comedy industry, where are your specials? Who is doing the big thing? Who is touring? Who's, all those, like there was a larger questions being asked about the Kenyan comedy scene. Yeah.
Is there, so for you, in terms of like, especially stand-up, how much of that is a skill and how much of that is talent?
When you're starting out, kuna talent. Like you have like, for you to go on stage, there's like a talent kadogo uko nako. Like there's a knack you have or it's either that or you are very delusional as well.
Sonko.
Yeah, like maybe you just like you know the guys who make themselves laugh and decide, me saini kapewa hii stage.
Nakuanga mfani.
Yeah, like
Nakuanga mfani, by the way.
A weird thing is that every man who is alive inherently thinks they are funny. Like every dude deep down they're listening, me, I'm funnier than the average guy. So the average guy thinks they're funnier than the average guy. Right? So
nikajambia na kwanga mfani. It's never close.
That's a lie. Ujaika ujiria, but then
mimi nasema ngatu like fuck, Mwass ni mfani.
No, it's because Mwass is it's because when you stay next to him.
I'm some average guys.
Wow.
And delusional guys. Yeah. He was getting to us.
So lazima either uko na ka delusion kidogo na so like in the beginning it's talent. It's like maybe you have a good personality, but that can sustain you. You have to start writing like and comedy watu bweka comedy ni novelty. At the time Chaxy was complaining that he went to anenanga na skate the same joke every time, right? And it's like you realize that comedians don't have the privilege of musicians.
Oh, yes.
Like because surprise is an element of comedy. You can only hear the same joke thrice. Thrice and hiyo ni unatoka. So you see. So like cause surprise is an element of comedy.
Yeah.
So if I call you to a comedy show and then you hear the same jokes over, of course you have a problem. Now the thing is, if I call you to an open mic and you hear the same jokes, that's what the open mic is for.
It's meant for,
The open mic is for me to see, do these jokes work? That's why I don't charge you for the open mic. It's like, yeah.
But sasa kama
you should actually pay them. You focus group.
But ni nini una gauge kama it's the exact same delivery kila kitu the same for 3 weeks?
So now that's just being a bad comic.
Got you.
But okay, or also it's also I want to see it's a different audience. Will it work with the same demographic? If I say the same, it's like okay, the last time I'm like wanaume ndio walicheka sana. And then I will say now ndio because ni focus group unafanya kila wakati. Okay, na asubuhi chai mkate? No? Okay. Hiyo nimetoa.
Yeah.
Matoko deep kama chupa ya Fanta? So like at its core it's that planning because the problem is that Kenya we have such a small urban audience that people will eventually hear your joke again. You see, like in other places, if you're going to do the whole, I need to build up my material. Unaenda estate ingine, unaenda. So like, by the time someone is coming, amemaliza circuit yake, he has such a refined
material. Like super refined.
But sao nikienda Kisumu, bwana, huyu jamaa anasema nini? Like it's uende Eldoret, hamna putita. Like so like so you have so like the comics who are now in the scene are paying what I call the price of pioneership. Like we are not creating stars, we are creating the culture. So like I think Kenya's biggest comedian is probably in high school right now. The guy who like blow up and take us places, he's probably in high school right now. Because she'll come from high school, apate an existing scene. Apate anaweza fanya open mic kila week a certain place. So what is taking me 15 years will take that person 3. You see, so it's going to be easier for that person to come and be like when I went to SA, I met the guy who gave Trevor a platform. He's still doing open mics
today.
Yeah, and he's such a cool guy. He's like, when I can come over to Kenya, you could give me up on stage sometime, right? Like him, he's very open-ended, like, and they have become a cult. Comedians in other states, if I show up to another city and I'm a comedian, they'll fight to give me a place to sleep. You see, like they are very big because they want you to open now the door when they come here. Now you're like, I can vouch for that guy to come here. Yeah.
But open mics are essential because I look at comedy the same way I'd look at, say, something like poetry or rap.
Yeah.
Where those open mics are very essential.
Yep.
I'm glad, like you said, there's a bunch of spaces where you could nowadays go on a weekly and there's platforms.
Yeah.
So then, if I was a completely new comic, if I show up for an open mic, I get a chance to get on stage.
It depends. There's some open mics where you can just come and go up.
Yeah.
But as you develop, you'll have to come for something we call some workshops some days.
Got you.
Or if it's not a workshop, you'll have to sit with an older comic. Like if you're new and you tell me, could you listen to my stuff and let's have a conversation about it? So we can listen. I won't tell you that, don't say that joke. We'll just talk about your technique. We'll just talk about, I think you could pose a bit better. I think you can explore this larger so that now you start becoming, because in your head, you think you're the funniest person by the time you go up on stage. Then that will be the most humbling day of your life. When you realize, hata yu amjashika. Then you have to come off stage and be like, okay, so don't sweat it. Like kulikuwa na tu idea hapo. So just come, you can come for a workshop. Now you can have, if you're very new, they're normally weekly workshops you can go to and we can discuss, what have you been writing? Okay, that's good. What I think you should do about that is A, B, C, D. Ongeza hii, toa hii, then see how it works, yeah.
Okay.
So you don't say the same joke the same way every time. Yeah.
You were talking about the scene and setting up the scene.
Yeah.
Explain to me how comedy clubs work. Are they like record labels signing comedians? Like what's that like? Because we know use punchline and
I see. So okay, not exactly like record labels. They are more of like, it's a platform. Someone has built a platform. Ameongea na an owner of a certain place. And I'm going to curate a comedy night for you. You see. And now it's like Wapi. Remember Wapi?
What's in pictures.
Wapi was not a record label, but it was a platform for like rappers and artists. Yeah. So I created this, I say, this is a platform I'm offering comedians. Now, if I want to perform on that stage, I have to go and talk. I don't talk to the owner anymore. I talk to the guy who does the creation of comedy. Because that way, he understands better what works, right? So atakuja kwambia, you want to go up higher. Show up on Monday for the workshop. If you showed up on Monday, don't worry. If it's another one which is new, be like, okay, just put your name on the list, but no, you don't have any power of when you'll go up. You know, huwezi kuja sema mimi nachapa 30 minutes zangu.
Delusion.
Nataka kuwa mwisho. There's a kid.
Lakini as in confidence.
There's a kid I met last week. He showed up. First he was late. Now comedy, first you have to come early before everyone on time and then just meet up with the comics. It helps build that camaraderie, yeah? So ikifika mahali, then this guy was like, nafanya mdaka ngapi? He was told, you're doing a tight 5. Hapana. You can metayarisha 30 zangu na comedy for 30 minutes nani. You make people laugh for 30 minutes. It's like ni kwa metayarisha zangu 30 na pia spend penye umeneka kwa list. Nataka after mamito usamini.
And this is a new person.
So
Kama mito.
so nasema you see that level of
Na simngemweka tu mmoja.
Ungempatie.
Na mweke hizo 30.
Iwe funzo.
so alienda hizo 5 alitoa jasho I'm like, hey yo, I think the audience was not getting it. It wasn't the audience. But you see now, eventually, like there are things I can't teach you. There are things you have to experience. Like, let me tell you as a comedian, when you go on stage and you bombing is what you call when you don't do well. That thing, even when you wake up in the next morning, it haunts you like, why do I have a hard on? I don't deserve to have a hard on. Like, why? Why am I eating?
It's a bomb so bad. I don't deserve to have a hard on.
Kuna existential crisis ingine tu maze. Unafunga macho unakumbuka wakikuchekelea.
Ulikuwa unajaribu kuwachekesha.
Maze, oh my. So, yeah, I think once there's a humility you'll need to go up. But generally, if you're good, there are guys who are like, they come a class, so there are guys who watashika kitu like, there are kids who I'm seeing now who are coming up, and I'm like, yo, this guy will be a beast.
Yeah.
I was not that good when I was doing comedy after a year. This guy is, and so like you have to let them. Don't be a hater. You know, like sometimes you can be a hater, and be like, wewe kitu yako. You can be like, hey, listen, or maybe pia naona ni kama hamni understand venye mimi. One venye mimi na rokisha ikram. Okay, so you're doing well, but maybe now go out of other topics because when you're starting out, you find a comfort zone. You know, I'm the guy who only talks about these issues. Now, one of the biggest problems I think new comedians have is when I ask a new comedian who's your favorite comedian, and they tell me Dave Chappelle, I'm always worried. Not because Dave Chappelle is a bad comic, he's an amazing comic. It's because
He's my god.
As deservedly so.
Yeah.
So it's because when people start comedy and Dave Chappelle is your favorite, you want to mimic him. So you first want to come and speak truths before you speak funny. You see? So like work on the funny part, then whatever you can talk about after that, you have the skill to work on it. But ila tu come up on stage. You know, women are stupid because
You've lost half the audience.
yeah, like
And you don't want to remain with the other half.
exactly. So like you first work on the skill of being funny.
Gotcha.
Then whatever you can talk about after that, you'll be good.
So who's your favorite comedian?
It depends on
You have a bunch of them?
no, like it depends on the thing the comedian is
like
doing.
the
Like,
skill, the technique,
like for social
format, okay.
commentary, I love Dave, right? For self-deprecation, I love Kevin Hart. For accents and impressions, I love listening to Trevor. So like it depends on the thing that I'm trying to work on
Got you.
in that moment. Who I'll be studying to see like
You pick different things from different from the
So
different
like
comics.
Ashafanya, why should I struggle to? Of course, I'll still find my voice, but even as because even as an adult, you also your views on things are changing as you grow up.
Yeah.
So uzuri wa comedy is the anti-football or anti-athletics. You only get better as you get older. So like because you become more refined, you become
More experiences. There's more things to talk about.
You
So you
suffer
can
more.
peak at 50.
Yeah. You get like most comedians, they don't get unless ni matrife.
Hey, na sahi bado ana.
Na sahi na unajua alianza akiwa 17.
Yeah.
So he's been doing comedy for 10 years.
He's 27.
26, 27.
27.
Yeah, so you can imagine every comedian overnight success, I'll take 10 years kukua an overnight success. When even ulimwona overnight.
TikTok.
Yeah. And also now that's another thing. The internet lies to people that they are funny for stand-up, right? It's easy to be funny here, but because you can cut.
You can
okay,
edit, you
I
can
didn't like
change
that part.
things,
Okay, but now when it's in front of people, there's a this is real. This is they're looking at me now. It's not like where you're accidentally funny and you're going to give a speech. No, you have told us you're a comedian. You have told us we are going to come and laugh.
We have paid.
We have paid to hear laughter.
Now we are here.
Now make us laugh. And I'm telling you, Kenyans are bitches. Let me just tell you something.
Hiyo imetoka hapa. Hiyo ni show gani?
Kenyans will pay for your show to prove you can't make them laugh.
Wow.
You know, like Kenyans are petty, like, yeah, now somebody wako funny. Sikuwa na expect us one of
Guy. So alikuja?
For Kenyan, it's cool being a hater. Like, if you're Kenyan,
Wacha nilipe hiyo kama Ben Sola anaweza imba.
bas, kuna msee alikam podcast yenyu.
Acha nione wase.
Kusema tu sasa wana hii shida ndo. There's someone who tunes in anaonanga Chaxy anasema sawa jamaa. Anacheka hizo jokes za Mwass.
Professional haters. Kuna ule msoshinda akisema umecheka sana.
Kuna msana
comments.
Kuna msana anasema ngumsa anachekanga sana. Imagine.
So you worked really hard. You got a studio space.
Yeah.
Like God knows the struggles you guys have had just to sit here and do this. You know? So you've done all those things. And it's one thing to say, hey guys, I think you could work on the mics. I think you could know. It's like someone just comes and trash your whole
the whole thing.
Yeah, so like ni kama Kenya kukua celeb. Ni kama like I normally see like the musicians walking around. You see like Kenyans want to prove how you can't owe them. Ujama juzi. Ka humble bro. Ka humble. Kenya kazi yako ni kumbusha bro pesa wisha. But be humble. But like hakunanga reason nyingine ya it's just no you never say, "Hey bruv, I see what you're doing and I think you're going to go places. Just keep working at what you do." That would be something so simple that almost every creative would like to hear. Not money, but hey, good job with what you're doing. Keep going. Kenya ni unajua naona umeanza maringo siku hizi.
Tangu upate 1,000 views. Me change.
Exactly.
I'm a rookie magician, so I always do that with magic. I get a deck of cards in a party. I'm like, let me show you a magic trick. Msako tu, acha nishuffle. Hapana tuonyeshe, fanyia hapa. Niliwaambia mse ajui magic. I keep telling guys, it's a magic trick. Of course, there's something I've done that will fool you.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not sina powers.
Anafila mko charmed.
I was doing the card trick to BN. I was just like, can I do a card trick for you? Little shuffle.
Unajua nyinyi wale mnafikiria sisi ni wajinga. Unajua? Like
enjoy the trick, I'll get your card and then say, wow, how did you do that?
And what's sad about it is Kenyans have a higher taste for the entertainment than for the basics, you see. Like we are a third world country with first world tastes around entertainment.
Facts.
So like we want, if we are going to a concert, we want Beyonce level, right? If we are going, so like, but like our hospitals are trash, our roads are trash, like the things we should really be clamoring for, like those things have to be fixed first for our entertainment too. We are not like Congo where we are shooting in the desert, but sikia hii kwanza. No, we are not. You see, really, and think about it in the sense that think a country like DRC Congo, if they were not like in war or in fighting, we would never even hear Niger music. We would never have heard Niger. Because those guys are lingana there. Wanasanga a cappella hivyo, wanaanza tu kuimba. Like what the hell is happening here, right?
In the middle of a genocide.
So nasema Kenyans are hard on the people who they should not be hard on. Like your politician is the person, your MCA, your whatever. Yani ukaangalia wale watu wame hate on kwa timeline yake. Mazee hii concert ilikuwa na matope. Mazee so walikuwa na hii. Mazee hizi podcast za Kenya zote na tujike tu wanafanyanga. Alafu muulize baadhi ya MCA wenyewe wanaitwaje? Na kwenye anaishi barabara ni mbovu, nini ni mbovu. Like you need to maintain that energy for holding creatives to account. And creatives will do better if other systems are in check. And so it's easy. If you're earning better, you can pay more for my show. I can afford better gear. I can do a better special. It's easy to make you laugh in that moment. But it's because we are all suffering. Like, creatives don't live in a vacuum. So like when you see Kenyans love seeing creative struggle. Like you see when Omosh happened.
Oh yeah.
Mustafa. Like of course you can see some humor about it, but it wasn't oh my god, this guy needs help. It was like naonanga wanatembea hapa ni kama si ameshinda kwa TV.
The guy who said that tumsal to ngoma moja noma kadhani make it. I'm like, bro, the mom has cancer, he's working. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like, and it's not like someone who has said please give me money. He said I need to go mjengo, I need to whatever I need to do. Yeah, and like but I do you sometimes listen to old school Kenyan music, you're like what was happening in studio? Like when you listen to Mona Lisa, you're like there was another guy in studio just ad-libbing. Cheque Mona Lisa na voting tingisha. Nimebaki nimejazika. Uliza. Who was that guy that's the way talk about?
I want to take you back to growing up. So you grew up in Nyeri.
Yeah, I did.
What kind of content were you exposed to at the time? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think also like my dad grew up in Nairobi.
Okay.
So he was a city boy, and then he moved to Nyeri. So we were raised, like, so the way we were raised was, we were in a very like Christian setting, uko like neighborhood speaking, right? But my dad was atheist, right? So yeah,
so fucking cool.
So like the kids would not. He's not, but I'm saying in that time, growing up, he was. No, he bedside Baptist. Like he has a respect. He's not. But I'm saying like at that moment he was very atheist. So
from Sunday school.
No, we used to
Oh.
Sunday 1 church, Sunday 2 ice cream. So we used to
balance.
alternate. Yeah. So like this, we go with my mom to church, then the next day we go with my dad for ice cream.
Got you.
But now mom will let her fries into the equation. Can be a Buddha Mazei. You tried like she was mentioned that. But
For my mother,
Wakikuyu na Waru, you never been to delegations.
so now, so I think we were exposed to a lot of like foreign media, right? Like, so we were exposed to a lot of like, so like the kids around the Nini would come. Our house was a place they'd come and be free. They could watch Harry Potter. They could come and dance to Whitney Houston. With my dad would teach them the moonwalk. You know, like those things. It was very. So like, he was
cool dad.
Yeah, everyone had a father. Me, I had a dad. Like, like everyone used to Baba Nani. My dad would just call him Mike. Like even to this day, people don't call my dad
Baba.
they just call him, oh, how's Mike? So I'm like, okay, this is weird.
Is he actually a professional boxer?
Yeah, he was Kenya's bantamweight boxing champion for once. Once he was, but
How is your dad so cool?
so, no, but then he didn't. No, he only held the title once. He lost in the first defense, but I'm still, yeah. But still, he did those things, and then so when he was being raised in Nyeri, like the house was not in Nyeri, like to Nyeri physically. There, but we were, and then my cousins would come from Nairobi, so like, and then we get exposed things like Channel O and all those things, and I'm like, this is so cool. I had no idea these things would happen, but still. Like also being raised in that space was a but comedically speaking, Shikwekwe na Baba Zero. Kulikuwa na ilikuwa Kinyonga. So that was the first person I saw who was hilariously funny. Yeah, na Alphonse Makoha.
I remember Makoha very
yeah,
so
Makoha was the first person who I laughed until nikadika hivi.
Yeah.
Because at that time there was yes. Yeah. So what we call our Gen X, what people call Gen X, that generation was called .com generation. Remember? So when he first came and said, my name is Alphonse Makacha Makoha. In my head, that was the funniest thing I'd ever and I broke out my email. Yeah, so that like the comedic influences, I was never the funny kid.
Got you.
Yeah, like me, comedy came much later. First time I did comedy, I was 26.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I never like for me, I was a dancer. I was a dance instructor for a hip hop dance instructor.
Ombachi style or you were dancing?
Ombachi and I were in high school together.
Ombachi mmoja?
Yeah.
Sungemunisha kudance. Hata one move.
Dance instructor.
Yeah, Ata Motoria was in our high school.
Oh, so you were in Kiambu High?
Yeah. So, but at that time it was when in high school I was known for dancing. I was a dancer because that time everyone was an OD, but then I had learned how to do hip hop. So like isolations and then tatting, you know, so it was all those things. So when even when I came to Nairobi proper, that's when now Kibuja was my class. We were classmates both in to look at the same class. Na bado kampo tukakuwa the same. So when I go to campo, I see Kibuja so it's like
this is KU?
Yeah.
So hata mimi nilipitia.
So when I got Kibuja was my friend. So
I didn't know Kibuja was in KU.
Yeah, we were in the same class. Okay. So so he's like, hey bro, do you still dance? I'm like, yeah. Let me show you a place where we can go dance. So that time I used to go and dance in church at NPCV Road. So that time I remember yeah. And then after we go to Lewin's Barfest.
Gospel ilikuwa imeshika your time.
Yeah, like big pop. Yeah, it was pop music in Kenya was
gospel music.
Yeah, like
emoji.
Every cool kid was going to church. Like sometimes I laugh about the Mavuno BND pipeline. It's such a strong.
Everyone went to Mavuno is not BND.
Yeah, like that.
Oh really?
That Sita Mavuno BND pipeline is a very strong pipeline. Like the amount of youth groups who meet at BND.
Oh damn.
NPC Valley Road was like the it.
Yeah.
Huko ndio cool kids walikuwa naenda. Church on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. It was such
you do the dancing and stuff. Watu walikuwa naenda Katiana.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Hata mimi sasa kitu nilikuwa ni bamba nilikuwa naenda hakukuwa nakosa harusi. So I knew there was always lunch. Mimi nimetoka Ocha, everyone else is a Nairobi kid, so me live in a hostel. So I have to go back to the hostel after I finish dancing. So, but then after that,
which hostel were you in? KU?
I moved around. No, I was in KU Parkland, so I couldn't go to.
Because of law.
Siku Bedbug City.
Okay, Bedbug City.
Yeah. So like those exposures, even for me to try comedy the first time, I think I told you guys I was just trying to impress a girl. Yeah, I was just trying to impress a girl because I couldn't.
And you wrote material for her.
Yeah.
And you wrote material specifically for her.
No, I wrote because I wanted to go for BYSS. No, you know BYSS?
Very well.
Gotcha.
Because you said so.
Because he said so, I always wanted to go, but I could never afford a ticket at that time. So this one time, then I forgot all about them. Then this one time, someone says to me, I think you're funny. Because I used to now, after, I did poetry after a while. At Slumfest, I was number 2 at Slumfest. Because they told me, your comedy is too, your poetry is too humorous. There's too much humor in your comedy. And you know,
In your poetry.
Yeah, in your poetry. And you know how pretentious spoken word can get. The sun, moon, and stars came to me and told me, you are the one.
Unafanya snap.
Yeah. First, I love spoken word. I'm not hating spoken word. I'm just saying,
Goofy's coming later.
yeah. and you can tell, like, it became a very wokey space. Like, it became a very, like, because now a lot of money started coming in from, like, embassies. Nataka mtake poem ya climate change, sasa. So, like, you know, if you're an artist, you start chasing the bag after a while.
Yeah.
So now you start crafting your material around
The bag.
So that time I had stopped doing poetry. But now when I did BYSS, I showed up, it sucked. The first time doing comedy, it was bad. It was like...
You went on as one of the guys or you hosted it?
No, by the time I was hosting was December 2018.
Okay.
But just being on stage was August. Just going to be like, it was the first time they done at Arboretum. And then I just saw, mi nikapata ticket zangu, kambia mrembo, shika.
Tuende.
Tunaenda.
Yeah.
Lakini nitaenda pale stage, wewe tu piga makofi nikikuwa huko.
Yeah.
She didn't even come on time to see me on stage.
Really?
Yeah. So, but then I performed and it was like, hey. Yeah. But that's when I met other guys who...
But then what are you performing? Are you performing the
Stand-up.
the different...
No, stand-up. Just stand-up.
You stand-up?
Yeah, no, they said they've done, we are trying to get into stand-up. If you think you're funny, put this. So I went, they said it's an audition tape. Uzuri watu wengi hawakusikia your story. So the few guys, I was one of the few guys, akasema, okay guys, we are the ones we've gotten. Just come. So just...
And you bombed?
I didn't do well. I had like, this one joke.
Umetoka home tu ukaenda kubwa wase.
Imagine
Wase wametoka wameenda Barasa kwa baridi, umetoka tu home umeenda
hata
kubwa
just how tusema tivenya joke ilikuwa sijui venye China na colonize. Sasa tutaenda kupata majina za wa China. So instead of mabrayo huko time, sasa hiyo time tutakuwa tunaitwa sijui Chaxy Ping. Sasa lakini sasa hiyo time bado tuko na dementia juu ya kunini kama maodi. So my name is Chaxy Ping. Like it was one of the worst jokes ever.
Nipo ode malichelewa.
I know.
Ungepatiwa.
I know. So
Yeah.
at its core, like, there's some other things that I talked about, but then after I left stage, someone came and told me, kuna kakitu, si kabaya. So, and that's when I met other guys who would come as well. That's when I met my Namurumba, him in high school as well. Then I met...
He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
I think I saw him in KU. I think he was in 4th year when I joined.
Exactly.
Mwambia rudi Twitter. He used to be very funny.
Yeah, I'm a Rudy lakini bado wako chini ya maji.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's... So that's when we met up with those guys. They're like, yeah, there's a thing we do at the Blues.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, and that's how I got into stand-up. Yeah.
Damn, that is interesting. Well, so the question about Nyeri, right? Because I know like Nyeri was very influential like in the fight for independence.
Yeah.
Is that a thing, being born there, is it like a thing that people are proud of? Is it a thing that even people speak about?
Yeah.
Do you know like people who come from families of guys who fought for independence? Because akina Mwangi Muranga collaborators mbaya.
Of course.
So very fake people.
Tulidanganywa na juice.
Mulionesha kioo. So my granddad was in the Mau.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. So he was a driver in the hospital.
Okay.
But he was the one where they used to hide the weapons in his house. Because they thought, Ngachira can never do anything. Yeah, so they would, so the Mau guys would, so when they'd come do searching, they had those homemade guns, so they would come and hide them in.
Your grandfather's house?
Yeah. So that way, so guys would not, he would be the least to be suspected. Because he was a white man who was driving around, worked in the hospital, you see. And then...
So gangster.
Yeah, and then now my grandmama on the other side, she used to take... there's a place in Karatina, there's a rail. So they used to come and hide the food for those guys to come in.
The Mamau guys.
Yeah, so she tells us the story. So anatoka, so then you come and take the food when you're mnaletewa, then you go all the way.
to the
Yeah.
forest.
Oh,
But,
wow.
but her husband, really alcohol collaborator.
But so are people, do even younger people know this?
Well, you see, it's first of all, the older generation didn't tell the stories correctly.
Yeah.
first of all. And also because of the... You see, Mau Mau is no... They didn't do... It's not a black and white. It's the one that he just saints the whole time. Right? There's a place... Because now there was a culture war with the Presbyterian Church and the guys who are adherents of the Mau Mau, right? So there was a big culture war that happened where... Because there was a time when, you've heard of the Bahati Matters Church. So there's a time when Mau Mau forcibly circumcised like a lot of girls who had gone and ran away to the church, right? So it wasn't all like, we love you, you're the best, everything else. But still, most of it was pride. There was pride around it, like with... The problem was that the guys who benefited after the wars happened were the guys whose dads collaborated, you see. So there wasn't a... The love there was like saying I was descendant of Mama was just saying I'm also poor. Okay. Like it's a pride thing. It's good to have it, but yeah, like you're peasants. You're peasants on a farm. It's like, so even them, they're not happy at that time. And then also there was a generational thing that happened because a lot of guys died in the war. And then the ones who came back found their wives had already like moved on with their lives. Not with other men, but their wives had to be breadwinners. Yeah. And so the next generation now, our fathers grew up with very like tough mothers and almost absent dads because them they went and so now that's the whole Nyeri troop came of women beating their men because their men are, because now you didn't grow up with a father figure in the house who was, because after the grandfathers came from war, some of them, the world had changed when you came from the forest. The world was different. You are now... they didn't need warriors anymore. They needed businessmen. They needed farmers. Now you don't have land. Now, but then your wife has had a kiosk there, so she's now the sole breadwinner of your family. It's embarrassing for you, so you just go with other men and start drinking.
That's so insightful because now it answers why Kikuyu men drink.
And so the women are like, what are you doing there? So the girls grow up seeing really strong moms who are the one handling the business in the family, but then the dad maybe he was there, maybe he was not. Not the ones who are raised by proper dads or the collaborators, because then they could do a lot of land. So so even when your mama, it was like, but you are a bit... Yeah. And also like the heads of the mama, they got some compensation. But the everyday guys, the guys who ako tu kwa platoon tu, nimesikia wanakuja, those ones didn't get anything because you can't even know who he was. So like those ones, there wasn't... The pride is there. Oh yeah, we fought. But there was a shame of, I didn't get anything after the fight.
It was crazy because I had a chance to speak to my grandma like 2 years ago before she died for like an hour straight. And we recorded it. I think I have it somewhere. We just recorded it on my phone. And this is the first time me and my grandma just spoke about what it felt like and just living in that period. And she was just, she was very hopeless with the current government. This is 2 years ago. And she was like, what is the word for this? What is the word?
Je ne sais quoi.
No, when we got independence, the hope that came with independence there was tremendous hope. Like it's like she couldn't even explain how hopeful people were. That oh shit, we finally have independence. Things are moving. It's happened. So now we don't have to fight anymore. And then she died very hopeless, man. She was like,
she's seen it from 1962.
All the way. But she was just telling me about how the days in the forest, that those were crazy days. And the women had to make sure that the guys are fed. But then so they had still keep the homesteads. Like it was just a lot. A lot was going on. And they had ways to just make things work because also they didn't want to get arrested as well. Because now what happens to the kids? The man is in the forest. Where you need to support the man, but you can't be seen. Like,
and let's say, and then there are those guys who are displaced. And then, even after we got independence, the farms which had been taken by the white man were not given back to the people. They became government property, and then later on Kenyatta property. But the thing, and his headmen or whoever it is. But now the thing is, that's when now the Kuyos who are in Central at that time, some of them were given some money, and then they decided, instead of staying on this acre of land, all of us, let me go to the Rift. There they have acres of land. It's like, for this amount of money, I can get like 100 acres, you see. So, but what does that mean? It means in official tier, some naanza kuchapwa nyinyi mlitoka wapi. So kwenye hamna watu, huku mmereiziwa sasa pia hamna. So now the election violence during Moi's time, the Molo clashes, all those things. Now all those things would then happen. Like my grandparents were living in Kisumu the time Tomboya was shot. So now after that, there was retribution about now. And kama ni msaperi, utakipata. Wezi kuwa tu mnakuja hapa mna. Because there was that genuine anger. How would you kill our hope? So now, Nyi mmejipata tu huko. So then they moved to LD.
And
Big mistake.
is leaving everything behind.
Yeah, no, but no, them they were not because my granddad was a bit senior. He was in charge of Kodiaga prison at that time, so we could move. But now they moved to he was in charge of a smaller prison in Eldoret. So kufika huko, wakafukuzwa tena wakati wa clashes zingine. So a lot of things so a lot of things that happen are often caused by things we were not there. That si makosa yako, but sasa imekupata. Yeah, but also I feel everyone is a product of some trauma somewhere. Like, no Kenyan walks trauma-free, generally speaking. No. Like, maybe there are things they don't even know that's why they are the way they are. How did you find yourself living in this? Why do we live in this county? What's here? And then I would say you need to cut the average Kenyan some slack. Like, sa toko sana lakini, kuna mashida pia ametoka penye konazo. Yeah.
And being unaware that you have trauma is like the worst thing ever.
You know, my...
Wangejua siku hizi mnavaa dreadlocks kama geng.
It was interesting because
like we were in the forest, there were no barber shops. That's why we had this hair.
We were making oaths that we will never shave until the white man leaves.
That's true. Like the white man left. What's that?
Hamko na shampoo? Na conditioner?
You know, my colleague, she's not Kenyan, she's white. We were just having a conversation about different things, and then she was like, damn, this is the first time in her life when now she's staying here that she's seen so many broken families. She was like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? Like, every single person I speak to just comes from a broken family. Or parents were dead, or parents were absent. Like, within that family structure, there's just so much. And I'm like, yo, you speak to anyone about extended families. Kilam says easy. The young people are like, hey.
Even
leave me out of that bullshit.
Even
single babangu tuko sawa.
Yeah, like it's not a normal thing. Like where she comes from, it's not a normal thing. Families are a unit.
Yeah.
If you look at the stats, single parent homes in Kenya are way above the African average. It's like 14%, and that's a first world level of single parent household where like the laws are liberal. You can divorce anytime you want. Yeah. So like in Kenya, we have a lot of very broken families because of things that happened before we came.
Yeah.
And then also now, like you see how people, like something as similar, like, you know, in comedy, to make the joke, you need to understand, right? Like there's a thing like, oh, Kenyan men are not romantic at all. Sindio?
Then agenda nani alianza? Ni mamito.
And others, Kikuyu men are the worst with being romantic, right?
Yes.
Then you realize, okay, why are they like that, right? Then you realize, first of all, their culture is not a praising culture. It's a culture that you're praised for being the more humble you are, right? It's not a culture that allows you to laugh loud. As kids, they were never told Abuju Buju, I love you. They were never affirmed as children. So they likely will not affirm you. Like the way they were shown love is school fees was done, everything was done. So like you're not expecting this guy to like change and become Alejandro after you met him there, and the way he found love being expressed was, but then Kenyan guys are just confused. But he showed up. But he was there. Like them, their love language is time and acts of service.
Yeah, and money. See, I paid for nimekulipia school fees.
Unataka nini ingine? Si mimi nimefika. Unajua wanamengapo hako kwa nyumba zao. Like you're like, I'm out here doing the most. I love like a bare minimum nigga. You're like, because you talk with your friends and you're like, do you know what these guys are doing out there? Then you're like, if only you knew. But it's because the way we were shown love, we were not. A lot of Nini was not verbal, like, hey, Chacha, I love you, you're the best. You know, like, that didn't happen. It was just like, hey. I've been hugged twice by my dad. Twice.
Your whole life.
One was by mistake. And then... The second one was getting an A in KCSE. I was like that.
Alikuhug for himself.
Like
Philippi parallel.
It's the pride there. Now he can boast for his other niggas that my kid.
We are done.
We are done.
Yeah, like I think the first time I had my dad say he was proud of me was because when the smartphone came, he didn't know how to hang up. So I called him, hey, job ikwaje, and because I got the knee from internship. I've been promoted now. I'm now a full employee. Okay, sawa. Okay, good. Ndelea kazi mzuri. So when he didn't know how to cut out the phone, so the phone went on. So he was talking to his friend. He's like, no, he was speaking Kikuyu. Yeah, that's my son. Yeah, he's doing very well. Najua. Yeah, he has a... No, I've just had... he's working very hard. And that's a good thing.
Sasa yuko tu hivi.
Because,
So akwambie
because he's just telling his people there.
his niggas, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like... So, and even me, I realized a lot of relationships I was in didn't go well because I struggled with that part of emotion. Like me, I was using humor to renew. The babe just wants to be told, I love you. Hata give it to mingi.
Yeah.
Mimi niko tu hapa nampeleka sijui wapi tukafanya nini.
Unamchekesha tu.
Ataka tu kusikia unanipenda.
Yeah.
You look nice.
You look nice, you look beautiful. Yani that's the basic things she wanted.
Yeah.
But me, I was out here because of the way I was raised. Hiyo kiatu inakufinya. Haikufinyi? Sawa.
Mbona umenyamazia? It actually makes so much sense. Me, I used to perform well in school. Alafu my dad aniambia usianguke next time. You're number 1, anasema sitaki kuona number 2. But I kusema congratulations.
Yeah.
This is so nice.
Yeah.
Usiende number 2. Sawa. And then it's done.
Yeah, so like we had that thing where our love had to be earned. Like it's only at my height of accomplishment that an expression of love was shown. You see? Or it's only when I repressed my emotions, like uyu asumbuangi. That's the kid who's loved in the house, right? Because he's not you see, so now you become that kid, you know, like you want to get out of everyone's way. You want to make people laugh all the time. You want to be a comfortable space. Then you meet a babe who has been shown love all her life. Her parents have been telling her how beautiful she is, how loved she is. And then now you have to be like, she's like, I don't get that. Now Kikuyu babes find it the worst. Because people who've been raised in that trauma, they're like, now they'll find men who are very in their face, like, you're beautiful, you're what? Like, slightly annoying.
Really?
And slightly needy, you know.
Because you don't know that.
Si tuko hapa, sinajua. Like, you have to say it all the time.
Uliniambia last week.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was talking to my friend who was telling me, like, in Luo, there's something called Nyathi. Like that, the hype, or you feel yourself. Like, that's why I think a lot of our best rappers are Luo. Like, there's that feeling of, like, you know, like, I gotta... So, like, they grow up, like, they're very affirmed to them. They were very affirmed growing up.
Yeah.
Hey, good boy. Like, hey, look at, hey, Jadwong.
Proud.
Yeah, so when I always make fun of, like, when a brother from the lakeside meets a lady from the mountain, she gives you the validation she has never gotten in her life before. So that has to happen at least once in your life. That conversation has to happen at least once, and then you're like, okay, you know what? Maybe we're not used to each other. It's not familiar. But after that, it's like... So like, a lot of humor that comes from guys, it's because also the way their parents raised them was... Like, my mom is funny. Like so as she teased us growing up. Kichwa kubwa wameingia. And I was laughed. I was ama nikiingia, naona Nairobi si vinyozi tu, hakuna hata wasichana hakuna. And like that's how you get into the house. So like, so we tease each other growing up. So like, and that's why you hear a lot of guys say like they bond by teasing their own jinga. Because we express, it's not that people are saying we don't have emotions. No, we just express it differently. So but now your babe, it's like Mita is like, anakajinga. That cannot happen. So I think that's where a lot of we just make the most out of the best situations. Kenyans are repressed people, and humor is a way of escape.
That's interesting because we were talking about governance, which is something you're very familiar with Nameless. And alikuwa nasema him, he completely understands why things are the way they are, because our culture naturally as Kenyans, accountability is not a big part of our culture. So even when it comes to leadership, it's going to be the same thing. Pastors will do the most in the name of religion, nothing will happen. Because our culture generally as Kenyans, we don't
consequences.
Politicians know. Nothing is going to happen. So that's why they'll do whatever they do, always.
Impunity.
Yeah, nothing will change. Because as a culture, it's not just our thing.
And also we don't celebrate the ones who did good. You know, like, if, let's say, like, utoke mahali kwa ofisi flani, and then you go back and your value haija change. Ona umjinga msee. Sasa ulienda aje huko hukupata kakitu. So like goodness also we need goodness as a bad thing. Like the people who are like honest, the 3% of those Kenyans, 0.003% of those Kenyans who are like genuinely honest people who like we don't honor them, ni wafala wetu. And if we honored them a bit more, Kenya tunaheshimu ujanja. Na hiyo ujanja like on a larger scale, it's like, are you here na hizo madawa juu nilikula hiyo pesa. So there's that thing of even there's this guy who was saying, but they were talking about South Africa that time. Alikuwa anasema most of South African baddie content is paid for by our taxes. Like, you know, like, you know, like, like, unajua, like, this politician akona mabaddies, whatever. Of course, hiyo si salo yake. Ni CDF. Unajua si? Of course. Unajua, mazona CDF yako iko Dubai, ikinunua mabag mazee uko.
Chanel.
Nakara umekimizwa na kanjo huku. Like, there's a way, there's a feeling you get of, I just need to leave this place.
Me I'd live. Honestly, mimi wahesabu tu pesa hata abaya tuna pesa. Wauze to the highest bidder. Elon Musk hivi. Mimi nipate tu share yangu mimi na media.
No, but we are gonna build a wall. We're gonna keep all those black people out.
Are you hopeful though? Are you hopeful with this, with the way things are looking?
I've learned if I lose hope, I'll die that day. I can't afford to lose hope. Like, I feel if that's taken from, you know, I'm a creative in Kenya, man. Like, the day I lose hope, I'm killing. Yeah, and also like, and I'm like, governance-wise, I know we are bad. But occasionally I travel to other African countries to be like, but you know, Kenyan exceptionalism, we want to be the best and still the worst at everything. Yeah. Like when another person from Africa comes and says, "Oh, you guys have nice roads." Wapi? Like yes, I have hope in the sense that as long as there is breath, as long as we have people, I don't like being the person who spreads doom. Like there are days I feel it. I'm like, guys, but then a small thing will happen. Suji, hata kama niko na colors studio, niko like,
I'm like, oh, nice.
Jidenda for vision nione walianza hapa, sasa wako. I'm like, okay, even in the midst of a lot of, also there's things I used to take for granted that now I enjoy. Like, you can generally travel someplace across the country and you'll be good. You know, places zingine, like, it's like, sisi hapa naenda hiyo side ya Northern Kivu. Sisi nachapwa na malizwa huko. Like, there's that thing you realize, okay, Kenya, we have our problems. What saddens me is that how good it could be.
Yes.
Like how good,
you see the potential.
You see, like,
how
imagine how good it could be if we like someone just put their act together. If honestly I walked around and knowing healthcare was free, and if I end there stapata shida, and I know the roads are good,
education is
and security is good,
education
and
is affordable.
Let me
basics.
Sort out the basics. Me, like, if I was running a campaign, it would be like, guys, I'm not promising you middle income. I'm sorting out your basics. Izo tu, I'll sort out your education. I'll sort out your security, healthcare. Ingine enda ujipange. Mi sitakwambia sasa ati nitakupatia maziwa kila siku hapana. But I know if you sort those things out, if I don't have to spend a lot of money thinking about education, security, because all of those, kuna vitu we should not be spending money on that our disposable income goes over to. Public transport. Like, why is a public transport so bad? Like, unaenda New York, unapata jamaa kama Liam Neeson ama Kinuriza kwa subway tu. Na amerelax. But huku Kenya, uonekana kwa matatu siku moja. Woi.
Niliwaambia hata sote.
Huyu nilikwambia. Hii maisha, sio hukupata job.
Niliwaambia muziki hailipi.
Afuna hata muziki. Unajua muziki ndio unajulikana. Mtu basic tu, best yako ni accountant. Kimeumana? Gari, si niona ulinunua gari. Like, there's a pressure to keep up, and one thing I always tell artists, don't keep up with the Jones. Like, Jones is wasikusumbue, sawa nimenyona kwa matatu, so now what do we do now? Haya, umeingia kwangu na kumechapa, okay, now what do we do now? So am I a bad artist? Am I, you know, like, because you start chasing things that sasa utaanza kuandika poems za climate change.
Just to sort the bill.
Kila kitu ina change sasa. Your artist to change.
Nilikuwa naambia story fulani. Ujamaa aitwaje? Ujamaa Msambati, mtumeshi. Ujamaa Msambati alikuwa aitwaje? This comedian. Smart Joker. So Smart Joker. Nakumbuka time alikuwa tumetoka analog tukaenda digital. Tukatoka analog tukaenda digital. Jamaa akaangukia tu deal ya CK. Hiyo time we were moving from. Akagonga milioni zake. Na kakuwa sawa. But sasa baadaye alipata pressure ya ama niandike kuhusu. Sasa so I realize so comedy yako inaanza kusifa pole pole juu. Nasikia malaria pia ndio kuna shida ya malaria huko nje.
Acha niandike jokes za malaria.
Acha nilikuwa malaria ikaenda like so your art suffers because you're trying to keep up with the I'm sure no if ukipata kagikata kupatia kapesa I think take it but let it come because of what you do. Don't start doing the things so that mazee sasa mimi like you start acting gangster, you're not really a gangster. You start acting like you stray away from your art. Sasa usikie Erosh amesema I used to sing Gikuyu some time back and I found my place. So upate tu Dani Erosh ameenda I'm standing on a stage. So like because so you lose your authenticity because you're trying to chase a bag. And we've lost so many artists to that. Like I feel that the amount of brilliant musicians and comedians and sculptors and all the things we lost because they had to make a living. Yeah. They just had to do their thing and are so many. So every time I meet one and I'm like, hey, Amazon jo lazima nilipata mtoi, so lazima ningerudi.
I had to step up,
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing at its core. Yeah. But I'm saying why it's sad that it's like that.
It's very sad.
Do you imagine how many Kalmashaka songs we've never had? How many, like when was the last time you had a Mr. Lenny jam,
Mr. Lenny. Nataka kwenda kuona CTA yake niliona hizo CTA. Nijue umse anafanyanga nini juu. He looks the same.
Yeah. Like think about it when Sauti Sol and P Unit were doing the I'm a Gentleman. Sauti Sol were the young kids who were being brought on the block. So what should P Unit have been now? Using that.
Yeah.
Sai jamaa ko pale MCA mwingine and they are still I'm sure they're still very talented. Sometimes when they are walking they're like kuna kabisa ninge kwa kichwa anasema mazee kitu ingeweza like
but sasa on pause lazima nende ni deal na sijui county imefanya nini.
Yeah, and I hope that won't be you guys. Like
Mimi but I get what you're saying because that's what happened to all the Churchill show comedians. They're on Instagram now, the influencers.
Yeah, and it's because stand-up will force you to be humble. Unajua umekuwa star huko ukadinuko like you are selling there was a big platform for you at Carnival but you still have the big followers on your Instagram, you see. But now the thing is now you have to become adaptable. Now you need the algorithm to work in your behalf. You need to start thinking so hard about other things. Sasa lazima sasa because now I can't go to an open mic at 7 people. Si mnanijua mimi ni nani? Mimi ni kizangila mwenyewe.
Yeah.
So nimezoea naingia kama nimepiga dance 1 2 3 ha. Alafu na slow motion naangalia hivi. Au mimi nirudi open mic ya watu 7 hata wewe kwenda huko. So I think when that platform ended I felt really sad for it. Not sad because I had a TV show that replaced it, but I'm saying I felt sad for it in the sense that for stand-up purposes. Okay. Yeah.
But that's why sometimes I'm not really opposed to the idea that if you're in the situation where we're at now, if you have other ways of making money, absolutely make the money.
Yeah.
Peace of mind could help you pole push this other side. If things align, you can move sasa pole. Uko mjanja with it. But we have to, because you have to make the money, bro. The art needs the money.
When I saw you guys at the knee and you first mkaanza na Yega, I was like, yes. Yes.
Shout out to
I need to see more of they've seen what you're doing. They're not coming to tell you how to do your podcast.
Yeah.
They've told you would like to be part of this moving bus.
Yes. Literally.
Anatuambia mnaenda huko.
But that how could Sumbuata once we did a good 1 month and to agree with the Night Embassy. The main gig is today, so by the time guys watch this itakumeisha. But that was beautiful, man. Because that's the problem is so someone approaches you, but now they want you to change your content in a way. I'm like, sasa wewe ukinitafuta kuna kitu likufurahisha. Sasa ukitaka ni change you and then what?
So it's the same thing when you're a comedian, you've just come off stage. The guys who are happy for you don't talk to you first. It's always the guy who has an idea of what you should do. Was bro. Lakini shida yenu ni marketing. No. Shida yenu. Okay. Well, have you considered working with Churchill? Like that things you've gone through all about. Like they don't realize for you to sit down and do this podcast.
Yeah.
Zile sababu umefanya. Ndio yani okay, we should do this before you chose who should be on the podcast who. Yeah. Like there's a lot of things that go into it, but kuna atakuja kwambie.
Shideni ni marketing.
Awadhani mnakuanga na meetings. And then umekuja hapo to grip 7:15, umetoka 7:30.
But it's that thing of we don't treat creative as work, we treat it as talent, you see. So hata iko under Ministry of Youth Affairs. It's like ukimaliza youth mambo ya talent tuache. Sasa uanze kufanya vitu kubwa. Yeah. So we don't see the money we don't see entertainment for the multi-million-dollar industry that it is. we see it as something to keep the young people busy.
Ndio wasifanye drugs. Ama wasifanye crime.
Exactly. Now I say crime si po.
Hawajui my youth wanafanya zote.
Ni kama ule unamka the chief who was caught dancing. Unani kuna. The guy was just enjoying himself. But in an interview he had to say unajua nafanya hivi ndio ni reach my youth. And you're like he could just say I like
alikuwa anajibamba.
Angesema I like Brandy Miner's music. It's really good and I like that song. Good for her. Hata akuja Kisumu tunataka akuje. Lakini sasa yeye alikuwa unajua hata nilikuwa undercover hiyo siku kama Jumini chief na sasa na hiyo ndio natumianga ndio nijifanyia mavijana. Bro, you are having the time of your life. Enjoy it. People feel bad about enjoying entertainment. And so we are not taken seriously as entertainers until you get like proper big money. But had a chance to make money with you, you just come to my show. Pay that 700. It's fine. But you don't come and say like, Miss, say si master. Unajua mtaka kuwa na master. You make your own stars.
It seems like the comedy audience is the worst audience.
No, it's because as a comedian, you're not like a musician. As a comedian, the more relatable you seem, the better you are. You see, like everyone wants the comedian to be their friend, but they want the musician to be a god up there. You see, but the more you are so that's why everyone, when you're a comedian, people think everyone is your friend. They know you. Bro, ile story yako nilikuwa like, because I work to be relatable to you, so I don't look like I'm out there as a superstar. And you're gonna Trevor and a Banner Boy. You understand Trevor probably makes way more, but he's the guy you want to talk to. Banner, you just want to see him. So nifanyia shayo but uko na opinions nataka kuongea na Trevor. You know Trevor, but what do you think about so like with comedy that's why even when comedians they don't dress to kill. They have to look relatable even when they're on stage. He'll just show up in a sneakers and a t-shirt because the moment no one wants a comedian who's doing better than them in life. Because then they're not relatable. You won't come and hear about the stories of how bad life is going. Hey man, the economy. No one wants a comedian like, hey, niggas, me, I'm doing good. I'm not like you guys. But let's laugh. You can't laugh at something that's superior to you. You only laugh at things that either make you feel intellectually superior or things that are your equal. Like, okay. So like comedian, you all have to look relatable. So everyone has had a good day. Everyone is your friend. So they come and tell you, I was listening to Trevor, he was talking about how he should be so awkward. Trevor. Then akasema he realized his brother told him, you don't realize these people have been building a relationship with you
over the years.
You have been their friend. They're just not your friend, but you are their friend. So when they see you, escalator. So like you've been building as a comedian. I'm your friend when I'm on stage because I'm talking about things you go through every day. But now when I come off stage, we are strangers, but you don't know that. So you have to come in. No one gives us the respect musicians get. Bro, naongea naye. Wewe kuja hapa. My girlfriend anakupenda baby.
Na kuonanga folk future unataka tu kusikiza hilo. Umepiga selfie saba.
The thing is I don't mind it if you're respectful because we're not those guys for like because as an artist, you're happy when someone enjoys your art. See you later. Oh, guys, please, I cannot work under these conditions. Where is the Italian misuse? Please. Like so, but I'd prefer if there's that thing of people sometimes will think you're snobbish when you're having a bad day. Or maybe you didn't react with the laughter that they greeted you with. And so sometimes people think you're a bit mean. Or there are comedians who their personality is not what they are on stage. So they are very, like a guy like Amandeep. Amandeep is very shy. He's around big crowds, he gets a bit. We took him clubbing for the first time, Juicy.
Are you serious?
For the first time in his life, we took him to a club.
Where did you guys take him?
We went to Ibiza that time. So it was just like, hey, okay, so like you can see the
first time in a club.
The happy naivety, that's happening there. You see, but he's really funny, right? So when you meet him, and then he's very shy, and sometimes he may come off as mean or closed off. It's because he's like, it's fine. I can do that. It's okay. But he's like, okay, why are all these people talking to me in that? So like, that's, and I just said, no, I'm a handlers. Come on.
Come on, musicians.
Musicians na Eric Omondi.
So, of course, in some circumstances, yes, but because you're on a journey to become big. But the problem is that everyone is watching your journey. It's not like, na huyu jamaa anaringa juzi na tumemwona tu hapa. Si alikuwa hapa 2 grapes. na joke zake imbo. Yeah.
Comedy fans wapigwa gunshots kama.
But tunawapenda at its core. Ni hardcore.
But what about the real fans?
No,
the
those
guys
are
you really appreciate.
I love them because we have day ones.
Yeah.
The guys who will quote you a joke for you back to back. A joke you forgot you did.
Yeah.
You're like, Ni niliandika hiyo. I mean, I'm really funny. There are guys who come literally and tell you, yo, I went to Cape Town and there are guys who are watching me on the side who came from Kenya. I mean, who are Kenyan, who are around the city. We have to come watch the show.
Yeah.
You know when you're there, I was like, hey, man. In the midst of all those click sounds. Usikia,
Unajua sawa home kwa hiyo. Nice when you meet someone.
Yeah. So like the comedy scene has guys who are like diehards. Like these are guys who come for every open mic, every show, we've also seen them grow with their relationships. I met a guy yesterday. So you made fun of me and my then girlfriend. Then I was like, I'm sorry, what happened? We engaged. You see, so it's that thing, and she really likes coming over. Like, so he remembers how it's like after they became serious after they came for the gig. You see, so there are those nice stories you like hearing about things that happened. And also it's just a place to vent. Kenyans are suffering. So some guys just want to come and they want to hear you make fun of Ruto. They want to hear you make fun. Kuna mtu amevunjwa roho mazee afa akuja ukasikia venye pia ulivunjwa roho. Enyewe mademu utaka nini? No. Utaka nini? No.
Comedy imeisha hapo serious.
Ile by the way.
Wanatakanga
nini. And then also like the beauty with comedy is that there are so many comics for someone to relate to another person.
Yeah.
Someone may not relate to me, but then they'll watch Justine, then they'll watch a man, they'll watch all the newer guys who are just coming in. They are not very well known yet, but they will soon. And then you see like Gen Z love their people as well.
Yeah.
Wako na watu wao wenye wako like, I love how this guy brings this out.
Yeah.
So I think when you find your guy who you relate with, because the beauty with us comics are not successful financially, very successful. But I'm saying we're not successfully. We're a place where we are detached from your life experiences. So we'll still talk about the things you're facing. If you're facing money problems, probably so am I. Because the economy does not exist in a vacuum. If you're facing shida za kwenda airport na musician connects to you, amelakiwa na watu 50, alafu na wewe unaulizia penye choo ziko kwanza ndio. Like if you're having relationship problems, so am I. So like when I talk about them, it's like, yo, then try venye alikuwa nasema, nyewe. And then as men, we need to blah blah blah. Yeah. So the diehard fans, me, I love those guys.
So with social media now, like someone like Andrew Charles, who's been, I'd say, successful at posting his content on social media. But I think the thing with that is now if you post material on social media, you can't perform that on stage again, no?
Yeah. No, what Andrew Schultz does, he has the sweet spot between comedy and podcasting. Where it's like, even me, the things I post out nowadays are the things that of something that's currently happening. I'm joking, imeiva sana, naeza post out. But I'm saying, when you get to a place where it's like, there's a joke I can't do next week.
Yes.
It's something that's happened now.
Okay.
And you talk about this thing now. I post it then, and then now we can talk about it after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but there are those evergreens. But if I post it online, and maybe if I post it in 2017, now I have a different mind of seeing the same issue.
Yeah.
But I can post today, then you come to my show and I tell you the same thing. Tuniambia wewe hapo toka.
So I bought an ebook online. Let me tell you.
Utaki ku experience, because in other places, people will come and tell you, tufanye ile joke yako ya nini?
Oh, they want to hear
it. Yes, I've heard it, but I need to hear it from you. They are here for they want the performance. They want the experience. Nimesikia hii joke yako. But sana nataka wewe kusikia I've paid to hear from the horse's mouth.
This guy who does threads on Twitter as jail na nini.
Namjua.
I used to enjoy those threads. Yeah, he was in jail. So.
Alikuwa Kodiaga aliona mambo.
Kenyan guy.
Yeah, he's a Kenyan guy.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, unajua jela ukitaka kupoop sijui lazima ufanye. Then it's like 15 tweets. And then they're so interesting. So he had a link on his bio for an ebook.
Yes.
So I bought the ebook. And then it's just a collection of all the threads.
See, that's what he was doing in jail.
Nilikuanga like, nimeshasoma hizi threads zote, like, and then they are written the same way.
Yeah.
So I understand, like, ni kama mtu one tu TikTok umse ni mfani, alafu nifike hapo nimelipa 700 yangu. And then it's the same joke on TikTok.
Yeah.
Word for word.
Yeah. So that's why, and I think that's why we need the comedians to do really well. That's why we really need like the Kenyan show to go really well. to see
16th December.
to him, yeah.
16 December.
Country,
Yeah. So we need to. I don't know what he's planning. I don't know if it's stand up. I might. So like. So we need those. We can't afford. Like even when Jugush people complained about that knee, it wasn't funny for me because it affected my bread. Because if Jugush is there and people say they don't like the comedy because of the knee, how much more there's a trickle down effect around. It's not like, and yeah, but they'll seem funny. It's like, oh guys, and pengine ilikuwa siku mbaya yake. You know, like because you know it means if your top comedian is Jugush as Kenya, and then it also affects because what happened? There's a I will not name names for this part. So there's a comedian who went to SA. Kind of hype nini. Umse alibomb kila mahali.
A Kenyan comedian?
Alienda akabomb kila mahali mazee.
Several shows.
Zingine hata akakataa kutokea.
Then akakataa kutokea? The last show?
You know mazee umebomb mazee.
After 4 shows now.
After 4 shows, uko like, hey.
Yeah, so now, guys who go to the Juba Comedy Festival, it was Doug and Justine. So wakaenda. So no, actually it's a South African comic first who came here.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed by your scene. There's a guy who came the other day, brah. He was bad.
He was bad.
He died on stage. He died.
Yeah.
He died, brah. So, and then, so he was like, so you see the trickle down effect it has. If you go to another country and you don't, and maybe because maybe you're not in the big scene, like you don't show up for open mic, so you're not refine your material. You just think you're funny. So you see, and probably you are a funny guy. It's just that you've not prepared the material you're going to work on.
Yeah.
So ukienda huko, that's a different space. You know, making people who are outside of your culture laugh is a very different experience compared to making people of your culture laugh.
Yeah.
So ukifika huko, then maze ubom.
Is it because of relatability?
Yes, relatability and the things you think are funny here, like
something that are funny here may not be funny.
Yeah, it can be sad. Now you have to find the commonalities or what would work there. See, so unaenda huko maze, guys are like, yes, I don't like Kenyan comics. Because now you see, now you hold a country on your back for comedy because you went and the guys didn't like. And you know the spaces are the same. So when you go there, like, brah, there was this guy, brah. Hey, he wasn't funny. So like, he
South
died.
African accent makes bad news sound so bad.
Bro, and then you know those guys, you know the way as we say, wah. And they say, yo. Yo. So I say, and then there's another that says, hey. So they say like,
Hey, unajua tu si mfani.
That guy was your friend, eh? Hey. So he goes on stage, right? Hey. He dies. Wanapeana story huko, and then it's the same. And no, but when you come and tell them how you see them as a Kenyan, now they love that. You tell them how, like, well, you know that thing we talk about on the internet, how wananzanga na hii lugha for wanaingia hiyo ingine. When I talked about it on stage, they were like, it's us. We are like that. We are like that. Like, so walikuwa so those, there are those things which, if you're African, we have in common.
Yes.
Like how we were raised, how we were, like, but first you need to get them. But shida ni, hakuna kitu mbaya kama utoke stage, you did average. And then say, wow, waende sasa, mse wow, mwenye anajua intricacies zao. Sijui the colors do this, the uko like, oh my God. And then it's a different scene outside. Our scene is still new. And we are still trying. So when you go to another country, hata uende ujipate umeenda place kama London. Uko wase who show up. Open mic, ile comedian ndio upate open mic. Ama America ndio upewe open mic yote huko. Lazima ulete wase. So uko nje na flyers zako. Unapeana msia, please come. So watu wakakuja waseme flyers, hizo flyers bado kwa jina yako hapa nyuma. So if someone comes in, so if someone walks in and they have a flyer, it's you who put them on. So if you put 3 people on, you get stage time. You don't get paid. You get stage time. Yeah. So stage time is so precious, Maju. So like you're just doing other things, you get stage time. So ukisha hit kama 2 years vizuri, now you can start touring now. Now you can start making a small living from, I'll be in Georgia, I'll be where, pole. Yeah. But Kenya bado
speaking of your story payment, not the value you get. So you talked about like there's comedy clubs, there's all these establishments. How does the payment work? So
it depends. Most payment comes from the paid gigs. You know, like every weekend there should be a ticketed gig.
Gotcha.
Ticketed events are mostly those ones you're paid per se. You see, there are some open mics you can get paid for if maybe there's an arrangement with the owner or if you're like really good. Like, hey bro, kuja uchachisha hii open mic. But where you've come out of nowhere and said, I need to get some time.
Yeah.
Now, because you don't know if you're good or you're bad. Like now you see now you're the one who needs the time more than they need you.
Gotcha.
So now that's different. Open mics, comics rarely get paid for open mics unless like you're like a really renowned comic and they want to put your face on a poster. If your face is on a poster, you're getting paid. Don't worry. But if it's not on a poster, you naomba ka slot.
Wale and others.
Because it makes sense though, in the sense that if you're the one who just wants stage time, you're not even asking to get paid unless whoever owns the setup is a really good person. It's like, you know what, for your time, get Evie. It's different from when someone now, like, people have seen you're good and now they want to book you. Because now when they want to book you, sasa, they need to pay you in a way.
So, and it's commissions, it's...
Yeah, it's, you can agree. Kuna ile unaambiwa hata hii crowd, bro.
Watu 15.
Watu 15 wamekuja, nikagawa kila mtu na nipatia ujamaa wa ticket hizi pesa. But there's a place, there's a place in Joburg, they have something called, I think, 18 in 5. So
18 and 5.
18 in 5.
18 and 5.
So like, okay, let's say, no, it was actually 16 in 5. So 16 comics, and then you go on stage, hakuna host. You introduce the next comedian.
Yeah. Oh.
So like, so you have to know that person. Umeingia tu, so kuna lot inachorwa. So mna pick names from.
Randomly.
So the number you pick is where you are on the list.
So hiyo ni gulag.
So hiyo ni ile, and then,
Hakuna
so
headliner.
hata mimi niliingia kwa tu msali sema by the way mseni nimemwona, ametoka kwa headline festival ingine noma pase, muweke kwa hiyo. And ile, listen bra, you get one chance. If you blow it up, you can't get this again.
And
so,
it's 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes. But if you're bad, but if you're good, they let you
continue.
They let you continue.
Yeah,
so
I've seen like a flashlight.
So with those shows, it was just like, so ulikuwa naenda unapata, msi anakuja anakuambia, so who is before you? Anakuja, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? So they have to make a joke about you, and they just met you. And then we have to go, who is next? Oh, your name is Tumi. Oh, Tumi. Shit. Okay. And then najua, maziwa nashinda, unajua ukiwa huko unakaa ni kama umetoka Guinea Bissau or some place like that. Like wewe ni Mwafrika. Unajua wako na hiyo shida ya wenyewe Wakenya tunaonanga mtu ametoka Congo. So ukienda huko wewe ukienda huko maziwa unakaa, you could say Kenya, okay. You could have said Benin.
Hawatambui.
Like, of course wanatambua, but it's a different. It's not that you go to the club you're like, hey, I'm from Kenya. Okay.
Nah.
So menisaidia. Yeah, but so it's like, okay, so like, okay, oh, cool guy. Because now they're used to comics from Zimbabwe, Zambia, that southern area, who are maybe ni vienyeji wao kiasi.
Okay.
So pia unaonekana ukiwa kienyeji ukianza kidogo. Okay, acha tu ni wanasikia unaongea tu ete go ete come. Kwa akili yao, that's how you sound. Yeah, also me. Yeah. That's how you sound in their head. Huh?
Also me.
So when you prove yourself, now they put you on. They're like, okay, hey, I have this cat test from Kenya. Yeah? Bra, put him on. Like, so you know, like when I perform in one night, when I perform 3 different places.
Nice.
And you get paid, you see. So that's if you've been called, now you get paid. Yeah, but so even here we are trying to get to that space. But as we are creating culture. We're not creating superstars yet.
Yes.
So we're in a space of where we're creating the comedy culture of, it becomes a kind of thing of, I go to comedy when there's a free space I can go and laugh at a certain day.
Yeah.
So the goal is to make sure every day of the week, if we can get a place in different places in town, like Kilimani, Nairobi, and Lavington area is covered. So we want to see if we can get a Kiambu Road one, a Thika Road one. So like regardless of where you are in your hood, there's like a place you can go and laugh a bit, and then so we create the culture of, if a comic has come from another country and they have a show on Sunday, we tell them, kuja upitie.
Kama upige hizi.
Sasa shida you come, foreign comics who come, wanaitwa tuseme wamekam from Churchill, so wamekam, so hawajaelewa Kenyan psyche bado. So wanakam ni mnoma, but Loiso Gola alikama akaperform, but wasea huwa akumbuki. Aliperform for Churchill, Celeste Ntuli, like the guys who are like big. Hata ujamaa wa Malawi anaitwa aje huyu mwenye there's a Malawian guy alikuwa anajulikana, alikuwa the voice. Hii talent show ya kina Simon Cowell.
I see the face.
So alikuja wasea alipata saa vienje walikuwa huko wanashinda huyu jamaa anasema nini. But you see now if you come
and do those,
ufanya ka circuit kamoja tukwambia usijali wewe come piga 5 minutes zako hapa, because now I benefit because I have an international comedian on my stage. You benefit because you've gotten to know the psyche of the people. But if I just put you on the big stage the first day you come, it's not like music where this song I'm steady rocking on the midnight train.
Yes. You know the song already.
Yeah.
When I come, I don't know the joke.
I just have to say, Joe Bag, are you ready? Bass. Comedy, there is no "Are you ready?" It's brought to Cheque. So
That's interesting though, yeah. Because now if there's all these things that are happening in different parts of the country, in different parts of Nairobi, then if you do that Karana, even just 3 different spots, it gives you a really good understanding of what are you dealing with. And then also you get to hear other comics who come from here. So you can gauge content-wise what works.
And you ask them questions. Yeah, what's happening here about this? So, and now, and you know, we love hearing about ourselves from other people.
Yes.
So now you have that advantage of umesikia hapa. So like, so huja, ni aje, wa Kenya, ni aje. At least we'll get to that slack. Yeah. Then after that, like, oh, you know, I was working in, what does it mean to be a hustler? Just that question. You laugh because it's someone who's outside you.
Yeah. Yes.
But if they took the time to just be like, like some guy who came to Ghana kuzunguka na yeye, so akaanza kulearn like even community stereotypes, akasema, akakuja hapa akasema tu, what's wrong with ladies from Nyeri? No one, someone asks you that, and they're South African.
By the way.
So like,
it works.
That's when you learn the things that happen.
Got you.
I was on the Nini. I was like, this guy's from Burundi, he's selling me. And the thing is, economy ya Ruto. So when someone from Tanzania says that, it's really funny.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's us. We're just trying to create a comedy culture where now the superstars will come and sisi ndio tutakuwa unajua enzi zetu kama ridiculous. Kulikuwa jamaa fulani alikuwa na mapua kubwa alikuwa anaitwa Tai. Huyo jamaa
utafanya CTA ya 2050.
But ni muhimu though your foundation.
You guys will be a CTA.
Yeah,
like you don't realize that.
Talk to keep back episodes from 12 years
exactly.
ago.
That is crazy.
Remember when they said they're creating the scene?
So that's you
look at that now.
Exactly. That's what you guys
and
are.
we'll be speaking to the new 18-year-olds who just finished high school. It's funny as fuck.
Missy Tambua
did something online. Ikablow too.
Missy Tambua.
The same haters will be on the comments. Wale kijana bado anacheka sana.
It should be that. Yeah. And also, I think for you guys especially, when you're building something, you need to realize that, like people. At the results level, everyone will want to say they knew you. But when you guys are building Kianza,
Kaleka show.
You need to stop doing that small show of yours.
Short
1 year later, I want to be on your show.
Yeah, I'd like to be on your show.
Yeah. So that's
a small show. What happened? What happened with your show? Too much information with Ty.
Okay, so what happened was, this is at least now NDA imeisha your time ya period yake imeisha.
So
you
can talk about it.
So what happened was, it had two big producers, Buni Media here in Kenya and guys called Pilot Media Initiatives. So they were they were the guys who were run by the guys who write for Jon Stewart on the Daily Show. So when they came, they taught us how to write for TV. So now,
is it different?
Very different.
Is it difficult?
Yeah, because now you're tracking laughs per minute.
Oh.
You see, like I have to try to make a podcast. For every 2 sentences, we need to hear a laugh.
Wait.
So you can imagine that level of writing, of like, because I need to keep you engaged.
The punchlines have to.
Yeah.
Well, you can't drag the punchline.
No, like the moment nimeingia tu hapa tu nimesema hivi. Ali Hassan Joho, aka like I have to give then ndio niingia kwa story or who we know as. So recently he clip plays.
Gotcha.
Pop. So like there was a big
TikTok.
Yeah, like we were like I was being taught comedy again. Like for 3 weeks we just sat as the writers, we just knew everything. So the show went really well. We got really good ratings. So now NTV's like, you guys, we need to come back. So NTV wasn't paying for the show. You see, it was, but they were not charging us for the show. So we produced by ourselves. And now they think they don't interfere with the show. That was the thing. Don't come and tell us what we need to do. We don't shoot it in your studio. We just give you a tape every Sunday. You see? So what happened was...
but they were not paying for it.
Yeah, they were not paying for it. So us, we were being paid by New York guys.
Gotcha.
So, and then they had such a high standard of what they demanded from us.
Okay.
Like you could feel it in the writers, we even shot a pilot episode that never aired to be shown your mistakes. Yeah, like the level of professionalism was really good. So now the show, we've done an election break, and then we do season 2. So the problem was now, the short version is one of our big producers was Me Too'd in New York. Yeah, so once that happens, it's like there was a baby in Nigeria who they had shot a similar show in Nigeria, but didn't go too well, but it was okay. So there was a girl on the writing team who said that the host had made a sexist joke. You see? So she went
The
over.
host made a sexist joke.
Yeah. You see? So she's on the writing team. It's like now at TMI, when in the writing team, I say a sexist thing and there's Shiko was in our team. She says, she goes and reports me to the executive producer. I've made a sexist joke, you see? So the guy who was producing at that time, so Kadhania ko Nigeria. You know how Nigeria, how crass those guys are. I go eat you full on. I go, like they're not they're not like, hey Mrembo. A big go come So now he was like, so he was like, are you sure? Well, okay, according to her, are you sure I see unataka? Like, are you sure you don't want him like romantically? So he made that comment, right? So later on, during the season end party, she says alijaribu kumkatia. So nothing happened, but the bile of kuambiwa hivyo, and then later niambiwe siwezi ati kuja kunikatia, hiyo nimekataa. So now she wrote an article called Beware of Feminist Men. Men who, because it was a very like, there was had to be like a gender, then we had to, a quota, we had to, all those things. So now, as we're pitching for season 2, so now that babe goes to New York. There's a feminist think tank that's happening, and then she reports this because she did a hit story. So but now, even me, there was this one guy, that's the guy who we are pegging on, pesa ikuje yote. All projects were stopped with a budget effect.
So we're not getting a season 2.
If we do,
it won't be through them.
It will be, there are other avenues we can get it, but not through what, like the vision we had for it now has to take a back, like so many things have to be re-strategized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now the problem is also Kenyan media wanaumia kipesa. Yeah. So like you can pitch it to like the kind of what citizens come and yongelesha, hey, you know what? So you bring your show here. Yeah, but wataki kutoa pesa. So like everyone is trying to what can I take from you? And it's guys, and then they pay well. You see, like for that time it ran, I was the happiest man in this country.
For real?
Like not
Madoras.
No. Okay, the pay was good first of all, but also it's what you enjoy doing. What you're good at. Like for that moment, I was like, me, I was
living your best.
Yeah. Like I was just natembea tu kwa street napata nimetoka kidogo. Yadi uko na raha, yadi unashusha nyavu. Unajua? So because of all that happened, and they take such allegations very, very seriously.
No, for sure. Especially there's been too many issues. Even Didi had to step down.
Yeah, and you see now that one, there was no physical thing that happened.
Yeah.
It was the power attitude umenikatia, and you are at a senior level than me. Nothing has happened there. So how much more yakina Didi na watu wengine? Yeah, so like na juni NGO nini na akasema all things stop.
Yeah. How does the Wicked edition with Kingori work? He produces himself, I think.
I'm not very sure. Like me and Kingori started talking just the other day. Like we never even met.
Okay.
He started doing stand-up comedy at the open mics now. So at least now we get to...
Oh, he's doing stand-up now?
He started coming into the... Because I think even him, he's also a lover of the craft.
Yeah.
He realizes, okay, maybe I need to...
Get out there.
Maybe he wants to shoot his own thing, so I think he wants to get that...
That feel.
Yeah, of like, yo, bro, you come, do the thing. Like, a scene is happening. Don't be left out in the scene. Yeah, but... Yeah, I think also he's very owned by NTV. You see, it's also their baby.
Okay.
He shoots at their studios. Yeah. So, and him, at the time, Kina Amani used to write for him, Kina Buta used to write for him. They don't write for him anymore. So I don't know who's currently writing for him. But it's Uzuri wa your show. It's a project for NTV. It's their baby. Yeah.
So it's at home.
So it doesn't have post-production challenges.
Yeah. No, he shoots at their studios.
Yeah.
So with TMI with Ty, when it comes back, it's coming back as that. Do you guys own the name and the stuff?
Yes. It will come back as that. Because one of the negotiations I was doing there when I was starting out is because the Kenyan guys didn't believe in me. You see, like
they didn't believe in you?
Yeah, like why would you give a random guy as Churchill show slot?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because it's those guys are
the politics behind the scenes.
So now the guys who came from Maju are the ones who they had wanted to do a show, but they couldn't find a comic who they could do that with. So now they came to now talk to us about. Like when ni kama unapigwa interview ya comedy. Like they sit down, they sat down with me. It was so like they went through all your material you've ever posted. Tangu sijui wapi. So what are you thinking when you wrote this joke? So what's your motivations behind this? Like they were so professional about how they did it.
Okay.
So that now, in fact, when people started being called, they got in the job. I was the last person to be called. So me thought I didn't get the job, and I was like, okay, because they started calling guys the writers, the producers. Then all of a sudden, I'll never forgot that day. We got to a place where the day I was called, we were at a workshop. Nikapigiwa simu. Bwana, we are so sorry, bana. You're the guy we should have called the first. We think you're the guy for the show, bana, but don't confirm yet. Tuko na mkutano kesho. So now there's a guy called Gado.
Yeah.
You know Gado, the
cartoonist.
so
Gado, that's a legend,
so
man.
Gado called and like, hey, bana, bwana Mwapemba hapa, Gado, wanakumbuka. So you might be the guy, but he's Tanzanian. So
I didn't even know that's how it's got to.
Yeah. So now he gets. So the next I got a call, and now this guy's like, "Hey, my name is Kevin Blair from New York." So now it's a Zoom call, and like, I'm the chief writer for Jon Stewart. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Yeah. And I want to get a feel of you before we start the show. So because I checked the emails of who was supposed to be in a Zoom meeting, I had Googled everyone. So now Kevin was a guy I was supposed to meet officially. He's a guy who I hadn't met because all the guys were mostly production guys. Yeah. This was the guy for creative, and so you say he had to get a feel of me kama kuna. Mazee nilisoma speech zake zote. He was writing for Obama's like the dinner speech. So many niko hapo nazisoma zote.
The funny ones.
Like I didn't I was writing every so by the time we meet there, I sound like I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I was just telling him the things he'd written in his article in my own words. I was like, no, I think fundamentally speaking, freedom. That was like, we have the guy for the job. I just couldn't go and host pale 2 Grapes. So nikamaliza.
Ilikuwa kama Wednesday.
That's a very good Wednesday.
Nakwambia venye nilihost your gig. Sijambia mtu bado. It's just me who knows this. First of all.
Wait, so after this meeting, it's confirmed now?
Yeah, it's confirmed. Now it's only you who knows.
Yeah.
It's me who knows.
Yeah.
I've not told anyone else.
Yeah.
So by the way, I'm still in denial, but I'm still feeling that. Then I have to go and do comedy. Nilitoa jokes kutoka huku, jokes kutoka huku. Wao schedule shida yako nini, bro?
Yeye like hata ni kibom
I went home that day. My sister was home. Hey, how are you? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I closed the bedroom door. I cried like a girl.
Are you serious?
I cried like a girl. Like I was like, did this just happen? They just talked to the guys from the Daily Show. Did I? Did this just happen? Is this my life now? Like, So then I quit my job so fast. Like,
same day.
No, I went and told my boss. No, of course, I quit with respect, of course, because they told me we are not sure when we are coming in for us to. So I can't apply to notice yangu. So then it can be officially. So the thing was when we're negotiating salos, these guys tell me, this is the amount we are paying you. I'm like,
how much?
So let me give you a clue. So kambia, yo, kaniambia yo. So I felt bad because it was the same thing I was being paid at my job.
Like, that's what you asked for?
No, like then they didn't ask for anything.
They gave you an offer.
I'm getting to where the name came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so now tukafika mahali wakaniambia this is what we are offering you. Kasema hiki pesa ni kidogo, but okay. At least it's a job I'll enjoy doing and I'll only work 3 days a week. Sindio? Kambia, okay, yeah, so sorry. Then I'm it's per episode. What?
Super man.
Ukatoka mara mbili sasa.
Top. So that was a joke. So like okay.
So now you're getting your monthly salary used to get 4 times a week.
Yeah, or 5.
4 times a month.
Or 5 depending on the. Yeah, so like
kuna Sunday ngapi December 5.
So that they hit me like, so now I'm like, okay, if that's what you guys feel, but I think we can step up this later on. Tunaranda. Yani sasa mimi napiga sherehe za mabashu sana. Si ni 2-3 days a week nitakuwa natokea writing room, natokea hapo mazee makeup nini. So the process was when negotiating with the Kenyan team. No, they needed a name for the show. So they were going to call it the other news. As OMG, it's the news. Then there were like some funny things that were being put up. So then I said, my one condition, I won't agree with payment, is I need my name on the title of the show. Like that's my non-negotiable. Because I had seen the Daily Show with Trevor Noah. The Daily Show. So when I was writing back to the guys who were hiring, the Kenyan guys, I made sure I CC'd the New York guys. They was in the kule kichwa. So I was like, yeah, this is fine. No, my only thing is whatever we call the show, it has to be with TY Ngachira. So even by the time now we got the name TMI. So now when I walked the first time to see then I saw my name being crafted on the desk. I'm like, hey.
Mungu bariki wengine.
Sasa tafuta wengine huko nje. Mimi sasa
mimi nimetosheka.
Yeah, then they're like, hey, so there's an Indian in Westlands. His name is Jagdish, the gentleman. So I need you to go to his shop and make sure he gets you 7 suits, okay?
Superstar life.
Sure. Sure. It's like now this will happen. Like, hey, kumbe. Ain't even the first pilot episode we did, I was brought down to earth so fast, man.
That's the one that made mistakes.
Yeah, like it was bad. And then now the first 2 episodes we did that were on Nini. People didn't like it on Facebook. Twitter guys were like, we kind of like this, but even then it was. So maze, I got the worst fan mail ever. Unajua mtu mse alikuja akanitafuta jina, akaenda Facebook. Wewe mse, hii pesa ya show yako wangepatia Kengori. And then show yake vizuri hii sijui natupatia nini. Like the main things I was told the first episode of that show, I was like, what am I even doing?
This is a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, like bro, umetoka
na mse tu hata hakuna mtu amemuuliza.
Like bro, umetoka
kuja search yako
umetoka kufanya a normal 9 to 5 to seeing your face on a billboard in Ngong Road and Mombasa Road and on Langata Road. Alafu after sasa usimetoka huko, reality imekuja sasa kukupiga sasa umsiata na mwanga mfanye. Mbona NTV angepata mtu mwingine? Mbona Eric Omondi hakupewa hii gig? Like, and then una replace Churchill. Like, do you see how a beloved person, unajua? Kwa tu mazee uko like, sasa uko out there in the streets.
Like you said earlier, we don't know how to appreciate our good people.
Bro, the amount of like the love started getting the last month. Na by the hii show nimeanza like. Nimeona Kenya wase wanafanya. Pia mna experiment, mnafanya pia wase wanakuja wanaambia no, this is how you do this. This is how you do a mockumentary. Kuna vitu mnashoot mnaambia hizo haziendi place. Na you've struggled the whole week. Mtu anaandika anaambiwa hiyo segment yako tumetoa.
Hata siku edit.
Toa. So like the level of standards they required. You write this, you're told no.
Yeah.
Cut, but retain the jokes. How do I do that? If
because they're part of the joke.
And then but then you also had researchers.
Okay.
Naambia to get me a video of Kalembendile talking about Yosan shida yake.
That's a property.
So like the level of professionalism that I saw there was really well done.
How much of so even for this show and most of your other material, even the material that you have full control over, between your shared experiences, no, between your imagined and your lived experiences, how do you balance that out?
For stand-up, especially.
Do you
thing,
fall more for your lived?
No,
imagined?
Yes, there's lived and exaggerated to imagined. Okay. But also I talk to my friends and talk about like the one thing I remember I used to struggle doing is when I was seeing someone and she'd come on to watch that day and I was going to talk about relationships. Oof. Like I could tell we were going to have a conversation after this. So do you really think that Ama when you talk about, so like you always had to put like my girlfriend is amazing, you guys. I think she does like, that's more like a,
but.
We call like, hey, girls are strange. But my girlfriend is amazing. I think I don't deserve her. But the thing, anyone, because people, let's say they know her at that time. And also like, what happened at my job or things that are happening. So like I had to be very careful about not to be too on the nose about it's because it's my lived experience. Yeah. But I can't talk about the floods in Tana River. Yeah. Obvio. Like I'm not the one swimming there. Yeah. So also like I think a big part of my life led to this. Because after I finished high school, my mom wanted me to be a pastor, so I went to theology for a while.
Really?
I did theology for like a year. And I became a lawyer.
Says when to bless Mzenga kwa club.
So I always say Nairobi won. But I was like, no, but at its core, it's one of those things where like I did missionary work in Garissa for like 3 months. I taught in a school there. I like those lived experiences with different people have made me a better comedian. Okay. Yeah, like also they make you more empathetic with people. Okay. Like, okay, so what do you think? Like everyone is inherently very interesting. It just needs you to bring out their interesting. Yeah. Like, ukikaa tu na kila mtu mwambie kunaenda aje, ask them their story. Utarealize,
That's my favorite thing to do with Uber drivers. Me, I'm that guy who talks to all of them.
Yeah. But do you, in your mind, do you see TMI sitting anywhere on the internet? If it was to come back, does it still have to be on TV?
No, the problem was not, you see, the internet, even you guys realize, for me to pay the cast and crew for that level of production, right?
Keep the same quality.
It's like, I like what, you see what Justine, what she does with fake work with Justine? Yeah. It probably would be some, for me to decide I'm going to pay cast, crew, director, producer, it would require a certain level of funding. You see that, and mainstream is good. Even if most of my people watch it online, but mainstream is good because it gives a show credibility. So you also, if you're on TV, yes, but if you're, most of my people who are watching it on TikTok,
YouTube, yeah.
At TikTok,
online,
TikTok or Twitter mkutano, you guys, what is the show? We love this. Like, we are going to put your show up or due. Like TikTok caller told us we want to put your show up or due. So that's the time we were canvassing for donors. So at that time, that's the level of show you need to do, the level of the quality of the level. It's what you, even if TMI comes back, it probably will. But even,
hopefully.
but if it comes back, it will be, you'll notice a change in the,
Okay. So now are you practicing law?
No.
How is that going?
No. I mostly, even the thing is, I never got to practice law.
Okay.
Even after I finished, I just went into the NGO world. So I did a lot of public policy.
Yeah.
I drafted a lot of bills for counties, for all those things. So like, I can still do that on consultancy basis.
Okay.
But that led to my comedy, because my job would be tunaenda Migori. Kuna miners wako Migori. We have to explain to them the new Mining Act. How do you explain that to them? And you know how people sleep when you start saying, and these guys they're here only for, wamekujia pa DM yao. So you have to be like, skizeni kwanza. Shamba ni yako. Madini ni ya serikali, lakini bangi ni yako. Unasikia, serikali ikipata bangi ni wewe, lakini madini ni yake. So like you have to be very, like you had to take the most boring of things.
Got you.
Even when I used to serve in church as a Presbyterian church with old men and women, I had to make them laugh. So it's those things where like you have to make the most basic people like entertain them. You see what you say with Uber drivers? That was COVID for me. Because sasa hakuna place ya kufanya comedy. I don't know if my jokes are funny. You know,
audiences.
You can't guess in stand-up.
Yeah.
Because everything is funny in your head. Until you start like, son, schedule za mbona mademo wanapenda kucomplain kila wakati ati.
When ni comedian.
Kusema ukweli, hapo kuna point. Umetoa point. I didn't come for a point. I needed you to laugh.
1 star.
Yo, wallahi hii star utapata utajua. Yeah. So yeah, it's very the doing law. I think maybe I mostly will not be the court. It's very, because everyone does their own things, but it's a lot of consultancy around public policy, public participation, civic education. I helped draft the bills for public participation for LD and Bungoma. So see when LD
Sasa shida ni wanazitumia kweli.
Remember that time when ile time kulikuwa na ile kisanga ya wale watu walikula ile doza wa LD.
Yes.
Remember that?
That babe, I've forgotten her name.
So that babe, they're the ones who drafted that into the forums. Like you have to come and explain to people why a certain public financial thing happened. So we can say haikufanyika on nini, but you are required to
do it.
Yeah. Do you think they wanted to be there for that public baraza?
Of course not.
Yeah. So but now they
knew what was coming.
Yeah. So we required that to be in the, before any financial thing passes. There had to be like a baraza. It's just a now media caught this one, and it was more interesting. So now, the thing is, you can only build structures. After that, you can, if people choose to abide by them, but give the good guy a fighting chance. If there's a good guy in a county, give him something to lean on. Like ni kama tu shule. Kuna wengi watashika masomo. But kama kuna moja unaweza save.
But
if there's a kid, you can give access to a library. But letea kitabu fulani ata enjoy.
Got you.
Yeah. So yeah.
I feel like hosting gigs for you has to be your easiest paycheck. ni cheat, ni kama na cheat. Because I'm like, it just looks too easy for me to
Unaamka no prep. Ni kama unaenda Cheque nini?
Unajua tu na show up sangapi kuna dress code, then you just rock up.
It's harder for when you host gigs, it's very niche depending on who you're hosting for. Okay. You're hosting for IT guys, you're hosting for, and whatever place you host for, they need to feel like you understand what they do.
Got you.
You see,
so my jokes is a computer
like you also need to be like, so like there's a gig I had with IT people sometime, and there was a launch they were doing. Me and ChatGPT were together for 3 days learning what that product does. Because there's no way I was going to go there and look like I don't know what I'm talking about. So it's easy to, when you understand something, it's easy to make jokes about the thing. So when I talk to lawyers, we can talk about the way the judges are, originating someone's zako zilikataliwa. So it's very contextual depending on what you're doing. It's just, if you do a background work, you can't go too off. Like, you may not be the best MC I've ever seen, but you won't be too off where you're, but don't just go with with Mavaibu. Mavaibu will kill you.
Yeah.
Especially when you think you're now a big person and you don't respect the people who hire you.
Yeah.
You mtaumia kidogo.
Is it usually a lot of crowd work as well?
Yeah, it's a lot of crowd work. But also, the basic thing is just cutting to the CEO talking. Okay, now next, if I don't call the CEO, mtasema ya kwamba whatever. And then akuje, and then you find out, you talk to someone and then you find out an interesting joke about what they call the CEO.
Oh, yeah.
Or, like just office politics. Watu wa sales ni nyinyi mmefika hapa. Kama sales wamefika leo kimeumana. So then you can do your kawaida jokes after you break that.
Yeah. So now they're easy now.
Yeah, now they're easy. Now they trust you too.
Okay.
Now you can start talking about the state of the nation and all those other things.
Because we listened to Mamito hosting our show from backstage. And she was just freestyling.
Hata tukiwa naye backstage yako anajua anaenda kufanya nini.
Mamito is different.
Then she just got on stage.
As a checker. My friends are like, that bit where she talked about me and my boyfriend, don't put that up. I was like, don't worry, that one is not going on the show.
Yeah, it's not on the show.
Mamito is a kind of comic who she has a skill, but she's also very naturally funny. Like me and how we see comedy, we have a similar vision for comedy, but how we do it is very different. Me, I'm very like structured, tack, very academic. Mamito is very like
freestyle.
She's a very good comedic actor. Mnaweza shoot sketch na yeye. Mimi niko script iko wapi? Hatukuandika. Mamito tell her role. Wewe ni yule msanii anafanya hivi. Nataka hii kitu ikuje mapema. Na itafanyika tu saa hii. And then you like if you watch Mamito work, the bloopers are the funniest compared to the
whatever actually we see.
Yeah, and also Mamito was one of the few comics who was big on the Churchill scene, but still wanted to come and
I've seen her in countless open mics.
Yeah, so
what
like
you guys do in different parts of the
exactly. So like so one of the guys who was big in Churchill, but she her vision of like, for me to be a comedian who tours, I need to also perfect the so now so you see at an open mic, niko na hizi joke nataka kujaribu. So that's how you. So for her, she has the perfect balance of Churchill gave me the platform, but I'm still on the grind.
She does sketch comedy, skits. She's still on stand-up.
Across,
like
so like this year, Mamito has been big on. I don't want to be known as a sketch comedian. I want people to respect me as a stand-up.
That's why she's doing Mamito and the Friends. Gigs,
yeah. So she wants also to be known as a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
Because no one will call you to go a sketch on stage for them.
For sure.
Yeah, no one will. Like the sketch money is good for branding, endorsement, for like, because those guys are Kina are making some.
No, they're making
proper
they're making a lot of bank.
Nimeona goofy hapa.
Favorite
I feel like spoken word is very forced.
Goofy is one of the biggest supporters wetu. No, angekuwa hata ningesema. No, he is.
So I remember seeing Mamito performing stand-up, not Churchill stand-up, for the first time. It's just because at Blues too. And she made this joke about how older women know what they want when they're getting knocked. And she was like, she answers like a GPS. Wake up. In the next 9 minutes,
take a left.
Destination.
How she has to coach young men when they're there.
It was crazy.
Yeah, the beautiful thing with her is she's also very like teachable. Like she's not like she'll ask you, what do you think about this? Like she doesn't have that large. If she respects you as a comedian, she'll be like, hey, what do you think about? She's very teachable. But you see the thing with especially sex jokes as a comedian, if you're a woman, they're the easiest to do. If you're a man, they're much harder. Like if you're a man, you do a sex joke, there's only so much room for error. You see? But if you're a woman and you do a sex joke, mi natukula tu wote tukikuja. But me if I go and say mi unajua madem wote mi wa smash huku ni kama it's like yo. Hold up.
Which is the same thing about when women buy sex toys, it's empowerment.
Yeah.
When guys buy sex toys, it's perversion.
It's like,
why do you have a torch, you fuck?
It's like, why? Like, ati wana tu jamati amekelea siji karemi sister ina siji ka suction siji nini ka tu hapa.
Like if I find a sex toy in my boy's house, I will ask you questions.
Of course.
Like I find you have a flashlight.
We are going to discuss that.
Is it waterproof that you can stick to the bathroom tile at your height? And it comes with pre-downloaded CG songs and CG modes.
Different modes.
And you can customize it CG. Kwanza ndio na ingine unashika hivi and then it has a screen holder.
Huyu jamaa anajua vitu mingi. Ati niliona ingine. Ati unashika hivi na iko na screen. Uliona wapi?
It's $178.
Uliona wapi? Holy Family Basilica.
TikTok, bro.
Iko na screen na laptop.
So it's very interesting. Let me tell you, I'm talking about the engineering.
Of course you
So
are.
it has two things that hold your lap, and then they come up like this. Then it has a screen place, and then it has a surround speaker 360. And then now it has the suction thing that you adjust to your thing. And then now you control it with like jousters on your side.
How heavy is that thing?
It's plastic,
Come back
so
and
it's light.
speakers.
And it's waterproof.
Mwass, you're a freaky person.
No, Mwass is.
I told
Mwass
you.
has.
Lonely. I forgot.
I want to say, even when we are designing a sex toy.
No, we are actually.
As in together.
Yes,
Yeah, like
we
it's
have
a
a
business
nice
proposal
idea
we
that
have.
we are working on.
Want to create-
Remember, this is a no judgment.
No, don't
podcast.
give it out. Someone will do it.
But we're just saying, okay, but
Yeah,
it's dope.
don't give out the idea.
So do you guys make eye contact when you're using it?
Not for us to
We don't have
use.
the prototype yet.
For guys to use. but even as part of our merchandise that is coming out next year, we have sex toys coming out. Yeah.
Sasa ati nikuwe nafanya kazi naona Mwass hapo.
Haitakuwa na Mwass. Haitakuwa na Mwass.
Imeandikwa jina.
Haitakuwa na Mwass.
Mariah anaelewa.
Tuko tu na copy. Mwass alishatengeneza copy.
Andika tu copy noma. It will be the
When
best
you buy
sex
the
toy.
packages, go fuck yourself.
Maybe that's the nini.
That's the copy for the package.
Go fuck yourself.
But I don't understand how. Do you think Kenyans are repressed? Because whenever Kiarit does that thing and no one is coming to claim those sex toys because zimejaa tu kila mahali. And unaona walitoa na majina Regina Wambura.
But because it's illegal. See, it's illegal
But
to...
why are sex toys illegal?
They're not illegal. They're just taxing you to Nafao. Like,
No, I thought it's illegal. I don't think you can legally buy a sex toy easy.
I think-
na ni import legally.
yeah, importing could be a problem.
So lazima tumia
But
our
using,
brothers in
but
Isili.
Aya, Chaxy, mamboro zako zimefika.
ile yako ile napanda na shuka napanda na shuka napanda.
Mamboro zako zimefika.
I have my friends sell them.
Ilikuwa ndani ya skari lubricants imeisha lakini iko wewe tengeneza.
My friend sells them, and it's a very weird. This my friend, he's that Kikuyu guy who has 24 biasharas.
Okay.
Na sasa kona like a big sex shop on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then one day I went to his office in Westlands. So it's the Kikuyu prototype.
Yeah.
One office, 24 biasharas.
Yeah.
Hapa tunafanya printing, tunauza sex toy, tuna dispatch. So he had a box of them. And I was just checking them out. And he has all this. That's why I started getting keen on. There's all these things.
Hapo anajua ni customer nini. Wewe ni wa nini?
And then you know how he puts them online because the packaging comes with descriptions and nini. So ana copy paste to kwa website ya manufacturer anaeka tu hapo Instagram. Alafu unaona ma DM tu. Then wako na discreet packaging the branding brand cards like vitu zingine kama cookware or whatever. Package na kama mtu kwako
Kijana kwani
buy masufuria.
Kijana kwani unaogopa nini? Kemani?
Yeah.
Ya blue.
But if you're a checkmate and you're a guy and you have a sex toy, able to DM. I have questions.
Why niko you want questions?
Honestly, you don't.
You are too specific.
No, this is just a question. I didn't say you have.
And then because sex toys sawa. Sex dolls.
Samantha.
Enda hospitali.
Kwani podcast yako hamjaomoka bado kama bado mnatumia wasichana hawa DM.
Wasichana wana tu DM lakini sasa
Lakini you want more. Like shida nini?
ni ile unataka time unataka.
Mnataka konnichiwa, shitabuna.
10, can you moan in Chinese?
What are your favorite accents? Because you love accents.
No,
and you do them really well.
No, yeah, I do impression, but like, I started doing them because they came a bit naturally. Yeah. Then I wanted to study why do they sound the way they sound. You see, and that's why I was like, why do Kikuyu sound like that? Why do see what jinga? But how can all of you speak like? Oh, that's when I did the series online of like, Kikuyu doesn't have letter L. So all of us are really speaking for really.
You don't have a letter L?
Yeah, I don't know. No, so do people like L's wapi?
Ooh, that's fire.
No, yeah. But I say, but it's that thing where you listen to a language and like, so it's that thing I was talking about. When you listen to Luo speak, they don't have the SH in their language, so they're not shrubbing suba. It's because that is a foreign sound to them. So it's like when you understand people talk the way they talk, you have a deeper respect about why their accent sounds the way it sounds. So, So I used to go on YouTube and be like, okay, learn Russian. Hiyo sifati.
Imagine babako akupate ukifati niko kazi.
Father hamni understand. You don't hamni understand.
Your mom will just start praying and say, I'm possessed.
Yeah, but which is, speaking of understand, so you see, fear thing, when Kikuyus talk in their language, they can have two consonant sounds zikifuatana. So whenever they come across two consonant sound, kama ND, they only pronounce the D. So you understand. Oh. You see?
Yeah.
So when we write, it's not David Dirango, it's Dirango, not Ndirango. My name is not Ngachira. You forget the first N. Pronounce it as. So whenever they see two consonants, it's like how Americans, when they have like the South ones, now for them it's the opposite. When two consonants kifuatana, they don't say the second one. They don't say hunter, it's Hannah. So like another corner, some I see where they'll not be, what do you mean hunter? Uko kungine. I mean Hannah. It's but impressions are good because it's a comedy hack. It's one thing for me to tell you, nenda South Africa, awase wakaniambia mimi ni mnoma. And I say, bro, utafika South Africa, jamaa anasema, hey, bra, you are brilliant, bra. So it's just something for comedy where you play a character. It's like when you watch Trevor, it's not that he has the most amazing punchlines in the world. His comedy is in his how he does impressions. His impressions of how, like, he didn't say, oh, Zambia hakuwa na escalator, so watu walikuwa na panda. I get to Zambia, bra. They are singing escalator. So like impressions are half the hack of comedy. That's what used to happen with the Churchill comedians, but now they used to do it for our tribal Nini. So the problem was that it got old really fast. So guys were like, no, after all, guys are like, that can be the joke. So I do the accent, but do a joke with the accent, you see? So it wasn't that, we don't have a problem with the accent jokes. We're just like, that can be your whole shtick. You just can't come and say, and it's funny the first 2 days.
But now do a joke in that.
Yeah, so but now tell us something about mtumishi alifanya na mchungaji alifanya. You see? So that, and you know, ninakwambia, and the Kenyans si watu wawezi kufurahisha Mkenya mara mbili na kitu ya kwanza. Atasikia joke yako 2 times. After that, ataanza kuangalia simu, acha aenge kwa ile joke nyingine yenyewe sijaiona. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we are. That's what impressions. It's just a comedy hack. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for making time, bro.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys for having me, man.
I appreciate you as well.
Man, yeah.
Now all the best with the what is it? With the special.
Thank you very much.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, no,
you have all the platforms to perfect. Tuanza kukutafuta tu tuko like okay.
Nitakuwa unashika niko fulani kwa some random mugithi nikitara.
Tunakuja tu tunasema
hata. Yes. Mshajiuliza mbona? Peace.
No, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you
guys for having me. Nimesikia vibaya Mariah kuwa, but
unfortunately, man.
Mazile reason nilikuwa nimepanga juu yake.
Unajua pia goofy umdai.
Alafu nikapata tu wanaume wawili huko.
Wako na that story.
Ati ingine inaekelewa hapa.
Bro, I'll show you that thing. It's an engineering marvel. This is the best thing after the light bulb.
Mariah mazee hapo ametuangusha bana.
Usijali, when you come back, when your special is ready, come back.
You'll make sure she's alive. I mean, like a 2-1-on-1. So, when you left, I lost a part of me.
Utakujoka hivi, then mimi na Mwass tuanze kutoka 1-on-1. After 5 minutes, mimi natoka nisirudi. Mwass atoke, then mbaki peke yenu tu.
So, when you said you liked funny guys, do big noses count?
Oh, I wanted to ask you, chako faka.
Yeah?
Unachekishanga wasichana ndio upate kudesh?
No. Wow, checker too.
So, when ulianza stand up, 5 minutes ago.
But sisi kusema ili work. No, but I always tell guys, humor is boobs for guys. Yeah, like, it's like when you're making girls laugh, this is what they're seeing. It's what when you see when this happening.
But better, but not this one.
That's what I have to be like, you know, it's not so. But yeah, it's also because humor is a social risk you're taking.
Yeah.
So you seem a bit more daring. 2, girls are very, their emotions validate a lot of other things they do. So if she associates you with a good time, you can look like sin. You can look like the back of my foot.
That's a very technical way to say yes.
Yeah. So yeah.
So unadinyana Nairobi.
Mimi, apana, mom, I would never.
Do you
mom,
want to
not
see my punchline?
Never. Listen, ladies, it wasn't. No, I would never. It's just
ladies.
It's you. It's just you. If you're watching this, never too.
Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, nimesweat manzi.
Manzi kajoto kametusumbua.
Kajoto kameingia. Anyway, TY Ngachira episode 118 huyo Maksha.
Over 26. This is
the Brunch Club. Over 26.
Welcome back to
The mics are closed.
Now, when you watch it, you'll understand.